Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom to the 12 tribes scattered abroad to the four corners of the earth, and also to the Gentiles joined into our household in faith and belief in Hamashiach. All praises. We get about our Abba's business this Sabbath and feast on this soul food.
Yes, sir.
Hallelujah.
Giving all praises.
This is an offering. This is an offering. This is an offering.
My bad.
You ain't tried to mix it.
That was the remix. Yeah. All right, y'all. Y'all know how we do. Face the east, get our prayer on. 1 Kings chapter 8. Extend our hands unto the Heavenly Father.
Yes, sir.
He pick us up like the children we are.
All right, family. We're going to get this opening prayer.
Yes.
And it is with the Most High's permission.
Yes, sir.
And is in the name of His only begotten beloved Son, our Lord and Savior and our Redeemer, Yahushua HaMashiach. But we know Him as Jesus the Christ, family.
Yes, sir.
Long live the King.
Long live the King.
Reading in the book of Psalms, in the 36th chapter, it reads, "The transgression of the wicked saith within my heart, that there is no fear of Yah before his eyes. For he flattereth himself in his own eyes, until his iniquity be found to be hateful. The words of his mouth are iniquity and deceit. He hath left off to be wise, and to do good. He deviseth mischief upon his bed. He setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil. Thy mercy, O Yahweh, is in the heavens, and thy faithfulness reacheth unto the clouds. Thy righteousness is like the great mountains. Thy judgments are a great deep. O Yahweh, thou preservest man and beast. How excellent is thy loving kindness,
Yes,
O
sir.
Yah.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, the children of men put their trust under the shadow of thy wings. They shall be abundantly satisfied with the fatness of thy house, and thou shalt make them drink of the river of thy pleasures. For with thee is the fountain of life.
Yes, sir.
In thy light shall we see light.
Yes.
O continue thy loving kindness unto them that know thee, and thy righteousness to the upright in heart. Let not the foot of pride come against me, and let not the hand of the wicked remove me. There are the workers of iniquity fallen. They are cast down and shall not be able to rise. Hallelujah! Say God!
All right, fam, we got Purim coming up. So today we're gonna hear some books of Esther about why we do Purim. And it's about, and also let's make clear, because a lot of people don't think that it's a day ordained by the Elohim, because it's not listed amongst those in Leviticus 23. However, in the Apocrypha, we'll see that the Most High has ordained certain days. Now, if it's your personal preference that you don't want to do it, that's on you. However, you cannot find any scriptures that says that we're not supposed to do it.
Right.
So, with that, we're going to get started. But like we start all the time, is there any questions, comments, or concerns that we need to address?
Well, I should just want to say, need the family to pray for our Jeremiah.
Yes, sir.
Wife of Dasa, that Jeremiah. We have several Jeremiahs, but our fish man at Tabernacles, he's going to have a little surgery.
Yeah.
To correct some things. Actually, look who walking through the door.
Whoa, Lord! Look at the spirit, man. Yeah. Look how the spirit works. Hallelujah.
So, and
All
also,
praises.
All praise.
still want the house of Aria, the aunt, was in a bad car accident.
Yeah.
So, asking for, prayer for a speedy recovery for them also.
Yes, sir.
And also, sis, who's that? You said someone passed that as well.
Gordon family.
Yeah, the Gordon
The
family.
Gordon family.
Yeah.
Also, this guy that I just met this morning that just got out of prison is homeless. His name is Philip Washington.
Okay, so y'all, if we don't know, we can't pray for you, so get the info out there, but it's good to see Brother Jeremiah.
Yes,
brother.
sir.
We got to pray, y'all, that things go well. I just want to say, also, the prayers are working. Brother Uriah sent out a video of Sister Hannah making a fist with her left arm.
Hallelujah.
Her arm that was paralyzed. So
Hallelujah.
she's making a full fist, so it's slowly coming back around, y'all, but prayer is working.
Hallelujah.
Also, y'all lift up my family in prayer. We just lost my uncle.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man.
Uncle Joe.
Uncle Joe, so prayers up for Uncle Joe, y'all.
No doubt.
Really, our young Michael over in the Swansea area lost his father this last week, so y'all, he's
Prayers
a
going up.
boy, so y'all know how that kind of hit him bad.
Yeah.
But he's saying he knew it was coming, but it just came, which it'll always be quick no matter what time it was, like you say, died too young.
Right.
If they were 675, we'd say the same thing.
Right.
Man died too young.
That's right.
Because you hate to see him gone, but we definitely need prayers lifted up for our brother Micah.
No doubt. And anyone else in the worldwide assembly that you have family, loved ones that we need to lift up prayers for, send in that information so we can do so. Yes, sir.
My brother that I just went to visit this morning that hasn't spoken to me for years, and he did let me come in, but anyway, he needs prayer. His name is Raymond Oakley.
Okay. Likewise. Anyone else? Anything else? Any questions, comments,
My
concerns?
question is, what is Purim?
Well, we're
over
gonna go over that, sister. It's
So you get a good, clear understanding.
It's an
of
event
why
that
we
happened.
do it. Yeah.
It's an
We
event.
gotta have instructions for everything
Right.
we do. Or it'll become a personal interpretation of how we do things.
That's right.
Versus what the script is teaching you. This is how you must do it. Anything short of that, you're gonna fall victim to Colossians 2:16.
Right. Your own
we
private
can't let
interpretation.
No man judge us about a feast day or holy day.
That's right. So we're gonna get started in this book of Esther in the Apocrypha, chapter 10.
And with that being said, on that book of Esther, Zebediah and I did a recording of that, and we're gonna turn it over to Tubai and see if he can get that up on God's Warrior. So if you wanna tune in and just listen to it,
Yes, sir.
we got that little offering out there for you.
And one last prayer request for Brother John and Sister Ruth. Sister Ruth is having a little surgery. What is it, tonsil? How you say that? Tonsillectomy, just some tonsil work. So
Okay.
we want to make sure that
That the Most High put the right
put the
physician.
blessing on the hands of that surgeon.
That's right.
So sister come out of that okay.
No doubt.
All right, family. We're going to start our reading in the book of Esther in the Apocrypha. It's going to be chapter 10 and verse 1. Everybody there? Let's get some understanding, family. Then Mordecai said, Yah have done these things, for I remember a dream which I saw concerning these matters, and nothing thereof hath failed.
So right here we see that Mordecai is acknowledging these are the acts, or this was performed by the Most High. It was ordained by the Most High that these things, this outcome would take place. Okay? Read on.
Verse 6. A little fountain became a river, and there was light, and the sun, and much water. This river is Esther, whom the king married and made queen. And the two dragons are I and Haman. And the nations were those that were assembled to destroy the name of the Jews.
So he's breaking down this parable. So, like we always say, the truth needs no support. The Most High is always going to go into definition or describing everything he's talking about. All we have to do is continue to read. Read.
Verse 9. And my nation is this Israel.
Shabbat shalom, family.
Shabbat shalom, family. And my nation is this Israel, which cried to Yah and were saved. For the Most High hath saved his people, and the Most High hath delivered us from all those evils. And Yah had wrought sin, Yah had wrought signs and great wonders, which have not been done among the Gentiles. Therefore, that he hath made 2 lots, one for the people of Yah, and another for all the Gentiles. And these 2 lots came at the hour and time and day of judgment before Yah among all nations. So Yah remembered his people and justified his inheritance. Therefore, those days shall be unto them in the month Adar, the 14th and 15th day of the same month, with an assembly and joy, and with gladness before Yah, according to the generations forever among his people.
So now we see that the Most High has ordained this to be a celebration amongst the people, a memorial for the deed in which happened, because Israel was delivered from an evil proclamation. So anytime we have these things, supernatural intervention or divine intervention, the Most High will mark that day as a memorial for us, because he showed his power against all the other nations. We want to jump over to
verse 13. Is that what you want? 10 and 13? I think that's what we're going to do.
No, yeah, 10 all the way down, all of that, chapter 10.
We did
Yeah,
that.
we did that. So, was you going to jump over to 13?
13?
Yes, 13, you said 14 too.
Yeah, 14:2, because it shows how Esther humbled herself under these conditions, being a queen.
We're in the book of Esther, chapter 13 in the Apocrypha. The copy of the letters was this: the great king Artaxerxes writeth these things to the princes and governors that are under him from India unto Ethiopia, in 127 provinces. After that I became Lord over many nations, and had dominion over the whole world, not lifted up with presumption of my authority, but carrying myself always with equity and mildness. I purposed to settle my subjects continually in a quiet life, and making my kingdom peaceable and open for passage to the utmost coast, to renew peace, which is desired of all men. Now when I asked my counselors how this might be brought to pass, Haman, that excelled in wisdom among us, and was approved for his constant goodwill and steadfast fidelity, and had the honor of the second place in the kingdom, declared unto us that in all nations throughout the world there was scattered a certain malicious people, that had laws contrary to all nations, and continually despised the commandments of kings, so as the uniting of our kingdoms, honorably intended by us, cannot go forward. Seeing then we understand what this people alone is continually in opposition unto all men, differing in the strange and manner of laws, and evil affected to our state, working all the mischief they can, that our kingdom may not be firmly established. Therefore have we commanded that all they that are signified in writing unto you by Haman, who is ordained over the affairs, and is next unto us, shall all, with their wives and children, be utterly destroyed by the sword of their enemies, without all mercy and pity, the 14th day of the 12th month, Adar, of this present year, that they who of old and now also are malicious may be in one day with violence go into the grave, and so ever hereafter cause our affairs to be well settled and without trouble.
So Haman ordained to kill off all the Israelites because he saw us as rebels or revolutionaries against the king or against the powers that be, who was a Hamite. And so his whole thing was that he had a problem with Mordecai,
Right.
because Mordecai wouldn't bow to him,
Right.
because Mordecai was a true believer in Elohim. There's only one he would bow to. And so because of that, Haman envy and hatred towards Haman towards Mordecai was inflamed. In so much that he wanted to kill off all the Israelites. But the Most High wasn't going to let that happen. Just like when Herod wanted to kill off all the Israelite babies and things of that nature. This is nothing new under the sun. Like we have the white police killing Israelites with impunity today. It's nothing new. This didn't just start happening. This happened way back then. Nothing new under the sun. We've always been enemies of the state.
Because now Haman was second in charge of the kingdom
Yeah.
under King Ahasuerus. And when he came in and out of the gate, he had made a decree that everybody had to bow to him coming in and out. But Mordecai, the Jew, said, I don't bow to no man, I bow to my God.
That's right.
And there was a problem with Haman. He was mad then.
He sat there and wouldn't even move.
Right. Every time he came in and out the gate, Haman was there like, man, this dude ain't gonna bother me. What's up with him? You know, because he serves his own God. So he went back to the king and said, hey, you gotta get rid of this dude.
Just like Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. They wouldn't bow to the king or the image of the beast and things of this nature, or the sound of the sackbut and psaltery and
Right.
things of this nature. So they were thrown into the fiery furnace. Just like Abraham. This is nothing new. This has been done since the beginning of time, since our father Abraham.
That's right.
Okay? So what we see today is nothing new. They've been always trying to destroy us. That's been Esau's whole game and all the other nations. Because one of the biggest things is, why did God choose them?
Right.
Why them and not us? Especially when they have physical power endowed upon us on this earth, because the power of the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So they feel like, well, we got all the power, why don't he want us? Well, he don't take man according to the appearance of man like we judge man. Okay? Read on, bro.
Verse 8. Then Mordecai thought upon all the works of the Most High, and made his prayer unto him, saying, O Yahweh, Master, the King Almighty, for the whole world is in thy power. And if thou hast appointed to save Israel, there is no man that can gainsay thee. For thou hast made heaven and earth, and all the wondrous things under the heaven. Thou art the most high of all things, and there is no man that can resist thee, which art the most high. Thou knowest all things, and thou knowest Yahweh, that it was neither in contempt or pride, nor for any desire of glory, that I did not bow down to proud Haman. For I could have been content with goodwill for the salvation of Israel, to kiss the soles of his feet. But I did this, that I might not prefer the glory of man above the glory of Yah. Neither will I worship any but thee, O Yah. Neither will I do it in pride. And now, O Most High Yah and King, spare thy people, for their eyes are upon us to bring us to naught. Yea, they desire to destroy the inheritance that hath been thine from the beginning.
Ain't that still happening today?
Still.
Because Esau has made a promise that he would destroy Jacob, the tribes of Jacob, the offspring of Jacob. After Esau, the father, died, the offspring of Esau swore that they would destroy us after their father Esau passed away.
Right.
Because see, Esau made a covenant of peace in his time of life. But after he died, his children said, no, we going after them Negroes.
Yeah.
And we gonna go after them until we destroy them off the face of the earth because they took our daddy's birthright.
Yeah.
Perpetual hatred.
Perpetual hatred. That's why he says, for Esau have I hated and Jacob have I loved.
Right.
Not that he hates them, but he loves them a lot less than Jacob because of what he's done and what he's devised in his heart. And that goes for anyone that devises hatred against their brethren. That's why the first two commandments is love, love, love.
That's right.
Because love trumps all that. Read on.
Verse 16. Despise not the portion which thou hast delivered out of Egypt for thine own self. Hear my prayer, and be merciful unto thine inheritance. Turn our sorrow into joy, that we may live, O Yahweh, and praise thy name, and destroy not the mouths of them that praise thee, O Yahweh. All Israel in like manner cried most earnestly unto the Most High, because their death was before their eyes.
Yes, sir.
All right. 114, that's right.
Yeah. Did Dad want to go into the book of Esther and
In the script.
66 books? Did he say?
We're just running whichever way you want to do it.
We doing 14?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The book of Esther in the Apocrypha, chapter 14. Queen Esther also, being in fear of death, resorted unto the Most High, and laid away her glorious apparel, and put on the garments of anguish and mourning, and instead of precious ointments, she covered her head with ashes and dung. And she humbled her body greatly, and all the places of her joy she filled with her torn hair.
So Queen Esther went into mourning and into sackcloth and repentance mode. Because what was happening was what was befalling her people. See, a lot of this is also based around community, the love of community and charity. So we have a queen, instead of living delicately, knowing the state of her people, she humbled herself greatly and prayed earnestly to Elohim for the sake of her people. Now we'll have some that be like, hey, to hell with them Negroes, hey, I'm living good. I'm living my best life. They better get in where they fit in. But not Esther. Esther had a mind for her people, for the community. It wasn't about her just living delicately in the king's palaces, having pride. So she denounced pride at this moment. She denounced all those things, materialistic presence and all that. She denied the living of the flesh. Now she's in the spirit. She's living in the spirit. She's seeking and walking in the spirit because now she's seeking a spiritual conquering. And that only happened through what she's doing, humbling herself and submitting herself wholly unto Elohim and praying for the deliverance of her people. Read on.
For my danger is in mine hand. From my youth up have I heard in the tribe of my family that thou, O Elohim, tookest Israel from among all people, and our fathers from their predecessors. for a perpetual inheritance, and thou hast performed whatsoever thou didst promise them. And now we have sinned before thee. Therefore hast thou given us unto the hands of our enemies, because we worship their gods. O Elohim, thou art righteous. Nevertheless, it satisfieth them not that we are in bitter captivity, but they have stricken hands with their idols, that they will abolish the thing that thou with thy mouth hast ordained, and destroy thine inheritance, and stop the mouth of them that praise thee, and quench the glory of thy house and of thine altar.
So we've gone through these circumstances on various occasions, and it's about to happen again, where anyone professing the name of Christ, Hamashiach, will be destroyed.
Yes, sir.
That's coming again. Persecution of the saints. It's going to happen again. Like we say, there's nothing like the script say. Ecclesiastes 1 and 10, there's nothing new under the sun. Read on.
Verse 10. And open the mouth of the heathen to set forth the praise of the idols, and to magnify a fleshly king forever. O Elohim, give not thy scepter unto them that be nothing, and let them not laugh at our fall, but turn their device upon themselves, and make him an example that have begun this against us.
So she's praying for the destruction of Haman, because of his wicked device against us.
Yeah.
But we also read in Proverbs, those that lay a trap for their own soul. And they gonna fall in the ditch thereof.
Same judgment you
Seek
give
it.
is the same judgment you're going to have to deal with.
That which you reap, that which you also sow. What's that, Galatians 4? You should weep, is it 6? Galatians 4 or Galatians 6. But you should reap what you sow. So if you're reaping harm and a trap for your enemy or for anyone, then you're laying that same trap for your own life.
That's right.
Read on.
Verse 12. Remember, O Elohim, make thyself known in time of our affliction, and give me boldness, O King of the nations and Lord of all power. Give me eloquent speech in my mouth before the lion. Turn his heart to hate him that fighteth against us, that there may be an end of him, and of all that are like-minded to him.
And you'll see that everything that she's praying, she's not praying in a miss. She believes all this that she's praying for in her heart. And that's what we have to we have to go to Elohim with true faith and believe that he will perform all that we're asking. He said, ask and ye shall receive. But you can't ask amiss. There can't be no doubt within our hearts when we go to Elohim. Read.
But deliver us with thine hand, and help me that I am desolate, and which have no other help but thee. Thou knowest all things, O Elohim. Thou knowest that I hate the glory of the unrighteous, and abhor the bed of the uncircumcised, and of all the heathen. Thou knowest my necessity, for I abhor the sign of my high estate, which is upon mine head in the days wherein I show myself, and that I abhor it as a menstruous rag, and that I wear it not when I am private by myself.
So she's not glorying in the fact that she's a queen. She's not. She says, "Hey, I can do without all this materialistic wealth and things of this nature. I can care less for it." She said, "When I'm by myself, I ain't into all this stuff. I humble myself." Because like Paul, she said she knows that whatever condition or whatever circumstance, she knows how to be content therewith. And that's what we have to be. That's walking in the spirit. That we're not clinging to these earthly things, clinging to the material matters that we have or possessions.
Right.
Because that ain't nothing. A man can come and steal it or harm you for it. You came in naked, and naked you should leave. You ain't taking none of these material wealth with you. That's why the Most High says, seek the kingdom and everything unto it. Thank you, brethren.
It's like my boy used to say, you know, we do them storage locker auctions, and you know, people cling to that stuff, but you ain't never seen a hearse with a U-Haul following it. You know what I mean? Can't take it with you.
You storing up things thinking that this is gonna happen when you gone. My
Right.
kids gonna have this. You don't know if they gonna get that.
Exactly.
The state might take all that.
Yeah.
They might sell it off and don't even keep it. So you worked all that time and put all that effort into that just for them to treat it like it was nothing. Verse 17. And that thine handmaid had not eaten at Haman's table, and that I have not greatly esteemed the king's feast, nor drunk the wine of the drink offering. Neither had thine handmaid any joy since the day that I was brought hither to this present, but in thee, O Elohim Yahweh of Abraham, O thou mighty power above all, hear the voice of the forlorn, and deliver us out of the hands of the mischievous, and deliver me out of my fear. Hallelujah.
We're going to do 16 too, Jay.
Okay, hold there. We just finished at 14.
Yeah.
I tell you what, we're gonna hold there. We're gonna jump into 8 and 9 of Esther in the 66 books. Then we'll come back to that 16, and then we'll go into the gift of. We're gonna go into that 1 Corinthians 13 charity, as well as some Sirach chapter 32 about hospitality, because all these go in with what Purim is about. It's about loving the brethren, caring for those that are without. Charity, showing, present alms. See, we talk about a lot of the spiritual gifts, but are we giving alms? Because Most High said, without charity, all those other things mean nothing.
That's right. That's right.
Because you're not extending love to your brethren. Acts, the book of Acts, when it was talking about every man having things in common, was basically about the love for the community, the love for the brethren, that those that didn't have also had. Those that were lacking also had.
That's right.
So no one would become Lord over their brethren like, I got more than you, you ain't got nothing. Because just like today, we will say a poor man ain't, well, in the worldly sense, we think that those that are poor or don't have a nice car, a high-paying job, and are worthless. So today we judge people according to the materialistic wealth.
Yeah.
Oh, he's successful. Well, what is success? How is it determined? How do you define success?
He might look successful and be in debt.
Yes. Look at how many people we see have a whole bunch of money. They have everything that we lust for, but they're unhappy. They are miserable.
Wanna
How
kill
many people
themselves.
have committed suicide?
Yeah.
Have all the wealth in the world, but commit suicide. Why? They don't have love. They don't have those spiritual gifts that we need to seek after and covet after.
He bought everything but spiritual gifts.
See, money can only buy materialistic things. It can't buy your happiness. It can't buy your salvation. We see what happened to Simon in Acts chapter 8.
Yes, sir.
When he tried to buy the holy gifts. It can't be purchased with money to buy.
1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 10.
Yes, sir. Come on with it.
For the love of money is the root of all evil.
Yes, it is.
Which while some covet after, they have erred from the faith
And pierced.
and pierced themselves through
Yes,
with
sir.
many sorrows.
Because chasing that bag will bring upon many sorrows.
Let me run this Ecclesiastes, and it's funny. It's funny. This Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 1.
And hit those ones that money is a defense as well.
Yeah.
Ecclesiastes chapter
They
1
all
verse
in,
1
they all in Ecclesiastes.
says, the words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem. Vanity of vanities,
Yeah.
saith the preacher.
Yes, sir.
Vanity of vanities, all is vanity.
Yes, sir.
What profit hath a man of all his labor which he taketh under the sun? One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. So when you up off of here, all that you done worked for and labored for, just like my brother said, you be like, well, I'm gonna leave this for my son and my daughter. But when you leave her, but you leave that here, and it's not gonna be equally disseminated the way that you wanted it to be, because if you don't really work hard for it, you don't appreciate it.
That's
That's
right.
right.
You understand? That's why you got these millionaires that's leaving their children nothing
Yep.
to make them work for it so they can appreciate it. I work with some guys, I don't work for them, I work for myself and my family. But I work with some guys who pay me money to keep me going because they got money. And I'm striving to have things for my family. But his grandfather started with nothing, but he built a business, and it was successful. He passed that business along to his son, their father, and the business grew. Now these guys in their early 30s, living in $1 million homes, multi-millionaires, they got the money. But if they ever lose that money, they'll kill themselves because they're accustomed to having that money.
That's right.
We are accustomed to making something out of nothing because
Yeah.
we ain't never had nothing.
That's right.
And we don't have generational wealth, so we strive to build that. But you cannot just focus on these worldly riches, man.
That's right.
You got a lot of people out there, man. Black folks spend more money on designer clothes than anybody. And
We're
they
the biggest
don't own
consumer.
anything.
Biggest consumers of the earth.
Right.
And don't own nothing.
Nothing.
And that's our curse. That's the Deuteronomy 28.
Yeah.
We should be the tail and they should be the head.
Yeah,
They come
you're
into
doing
our
wrong
communities and set up shop and gain generational wealth off of us.
Make
That's right.
merchandise of us.
Off of us.
And that, as you said, the Most High said, do not love the things that are in the world.
Right.
That's right.
But see, that's why he says seek the kingdom first.
That's right.
And everything else should be added thereunto.
And righteousness.
Yeah, 1 John 2 and 15. Love not the world nor the things that are in the world.
Hit this Ecclesiastes. We got a couple of them. Ecclesiastes start at 5, 9 through 13, or 9 through 15, and then 7, verse 12.
About money, like.
Yeah.
But before you do that, like, if you will,
Uh-huh.
we go to Sirach 31, 1 through 11.
Yes, sir.
Because the reason a lot of people think when we're saying about money, that you shouldn't have money.
No, no.
Or there should be
Nobody said
nobody
that.
that's rich. Then, you know,
Nobody
because that'll get
said that.
confusing, like, well, if money
Yeah.
that bad, so Abraham was rich.
Rich. A lot of our
But he
forefathers
kept
were
the
rich.
commandments.
But he
Job
could-
was rich.
That's right. So, I mean, Solomon was the richest man on the earth.
Yeah.
Until his downfall, until his transgression.
That's right.
So, we're not ever saying that you can't be rich.
Right.
But don't set your heart.
But don't set your heart on
That's
those
right.
material riches.
right.
Yeah.
That's all we're saying. We read that the love of money is the root of all evil.
Right.
Not the money itself.
Right.
The money doesn't harm. That's why I wanted to go to Ecclesiastes, because money is a defense.
Right.
We'll see that money answered all things. However, if you love money and you covet after it, then you're serving another God.
That's right.
But if you want to get rid of some of that filthy money, I'll get rid of
What's
it.
that, drop it off?
I'm just trying to help. That's all.
I'm trying to get sin out your life.
That's it, man. See, that's what it is.
So that's love for the brethren.
I'm helping y'all. P.O. Box.
Is that not love? Boy, I'm trying to save you. All right.
What was that? Sirach 30?
Sirach 31.
1
Yeah.
Sirach chapter 30, verse 1.
What book is that in?
Ecclesiastes.
Ecclesiasticus.
In the Apocrypha.
In the Apocrypha, chapter 31.
Thank you.
31, not 30.
Not
Yeah,
30,
it is
31.
It is 31.
31,
30, that
chapter
is it.
31, verse 1. Let's make sure we all there on the same page, y'all, together. One accord, y'all.
That's right.
Let's always be in one accord.
right.
One mind, one spirit.
And with all you're getting, get ye understanding.
That's right.
Because if it ain't no understanding being had,
Then it's
confusion.
and it's worthless.
And the Most High is not the author of confusion.
Exactly.
Ecclesiastes or Sirach chapter 31, verse 1.
Yes, sir.
Watching for riches consumeth the flesh.
What it do?
It consumeth the flesh.
Yo, so no paper chasing.
Right.
That's paper chasing.
And
Watching and the early. What is that? Early bird gets the
catches
first
worm.
worm.
Early bird tired. That's what it is.
Early bird ain't gonna never
killing
get no
yourself
sleep.
slowly by
Yeah.
surely.
Yeah,
Right.
And I don't like worms.
I do. They help my garden. I need all the worms you got.
Right.
Read on, brother.
Watching for riches consumeth the flesh, and the care thereof driveth away sleep.
Because you can't rest. You thinking about, I gotta get that
gotta
bag.
get this bag.
I gotta get that bag. And that's what we hear in the world today.
Yeah.
Get that bag. Don't worry about nothing. Get the bag.
Yeah.
Go after the money. Money. Boy, I'm about that paper.
Ain't no time for sleep.
Right.
Ain't
Hey,
no time for sleep.
I can sleep with, what they say, I sleep when I'm dead.
You gonna be dead real quick. You don't get
Yeah.
no sleep.
You
The
gonna
most
wake
I
up out
heard-
of that sleep,
You're
that's
right.
gonna be a problem.
Most I heard that too. You may not make it through that sleep. Read on.
Verse 2.
Come on.
Watching care will not let a man slumber, as a sore disease breaketh sleep. The rich have great labor in gathering riches together, and when he resteth, he is filled with his delicates. The poor laboreth in his poor estate, and when he leaveth off, he is still needy.
See the difference. There's a difference between a poor man and a beggar.
Yeah.
We're reading in Ecclesiastes, Sirach chapter 41 about the beggar. And you'll see the difference in these two. It says the poor laboreth.
Yeah.
That means he's going to work
Yeah.
still, daily. He's performing his duties of Genesis chapter 17.
That's right.
He's going to work. He's just not making enough to make ends meet. But he's working every day.
More month than money.
That's right.
Take home pay won't take you.
But he's still...
take home pay won't take you home. As a poor man.
That's a poor man, but the poor man goes to work.
Right.
And he takes care of his family. So he's not an infidel. So don't judge the poor man because he don't have the materialistic wealth that others have.
Yes.
Because he's going to work. What about that rich man? What if he got his maybe he got his riches through an inheritance and ain't worked a day in his life
Uh-oh.
and don't appreciate nothing. Went to school with a boy like that, rich, filthy rich, parents filthy rich. But I'm gonna show you how he never appreciated nothing. I won an art scholarship to go to school. His parents paid his way in. I went to class every day, bought my supplies for my projects and everything. His parents sent him his money. The dude had a Jeep. No, when we started school, he had a Jaguar. Got drunk and totaled it one night. His parents bought him a Jeep, a Wrangler Jeep, the next day. He dropped out of school after the first semester. Parents had a big mansion. Mansion so big, they had 5 living rooms in his mansion. There's only 4 of them that lived in it.
Wow.
Him and his brother had 2 master bedrooms, had their own floor each. 2 master bedrooms to themselves. He became so foul that this is how they call getting rid of him or corrected him. They put him out the house, but this is how they put him out the house. They bought him a house. This is their way of getting him out of their house. They bought him a house across the street from Tower Grove Park. So imagine how much they paying. That's another baby mansion. Not only did they buy him the house, they furnished it. And because he's living by himself, bought him a dog.
Do they chew his food for him?
I don't know, probably do. But when I would come over to visit, his mom would always ask, why can't you be like Bill? Bill goes to work. He works for everything. And you don't do nothing but sit around here and eat up all our food. And his whole response like, yeah, whatever. Let's go upstairs and play the guitar.
They created
Man,
that
and I'm
model.
standing there like, whoa, look at
They
this.
created that.
Look at this here. Dude. Ain't no way in the world I get away with none of this stuff you getting away with. But that was the difference. I had to work for everything. We as black people, Israelites, we have to work for ours.
That's right.
There are many that are just given a good life, but they don't appreciate it. He didn't appreciate nothing. Nor did he plan on working or nothing, because he knew he was going to be taken care of. Finish that out, brother.
Verse 5. He that loveth gold shall not be justified, and he that followeth corruption shall have enough thereof.
So he that loveth money, because I don't care, when you love money, you never have enough.
That's right.
It ain't never enough. You got to get more. You got to get more. And what can you do with all that money? All you can do is buy cars and houses and things and materialistic things. And chicken.
Once you buy all that stuff, you still got all that money.
Well, not only that, you got more problems because not everybody looking at you.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have a gang of friends that you never had before.
Right.
Remember when our brother Rockall got that inheritance?
Yeah. Showed up for everywhere. Where did friends come from?
Man, multitude.
Yeah.
A multitude of cats was with him we had never seen before. And after that money was gone, didn't see him no more.
That was gone.
They were
faster
gone.
than good candy.
Gone faster than good candy. And our brother was miserable.
Relatives too.
He was miserable. Yeah, his whole family. We start seeing brothers that we didn't know he had, cousins we didn't know existed, everything.
And another thing, Elijah, what you're saying about that paper chasing, even when Satan have you look at the situation, you know ain't no drug dealer ever retired. But what happens is they get everybody hooked on the dope, and then they're hooked on the money.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just stacked up with nowhere to spend it, but they just keep making more because the devil got them addicted to the money. They
Right.
can't stop making the money no more than they can keep getting the dope out. You be like, well, what are you gonna do with this storage unit full of money? You still got to spend that, but you just keep making more for what? They're become addicted to the money of the people that they're addicted to the drug.
Right.
So you got 2 addicts now chasing the bag.
Yeah.
But see,
But also it creates a war.
Yeah.
Because a war is coming behind that.
Yeah.
and that's a whole nother thing why they stack that money like that, because I done seen a whole lot of cash stacked up, but for if you make any large purchases, anything over $10,000, you gotta
All right.
you gotta tell it to the
Report it.
IRS, because I used to sell cars too, and I had cats coming in there with down payments of just cash, 20s and 5s. And I'm like, wait a minute, dog, how long it took you to say this up? You know, but they'll give me like $9,900.
Go ahead.
You dig? They give me $9,900 because they know that $10,000.
Right.
You dig?
Gotta be reported.
So that's how they avoid that. But then, that's why they take the neighborhood shopping, because they got all that money, they can't do nothing with it, and they know the lifespan of the street corner pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
It ain't nothing. There ain't no rules in the game. Period.
No.
Dot. You got the jackers. You got the jump out boys. You got the cluckers.
You got all enemies.
All enemies.
Because-
You got all
and
that
then-
money. You don't know who your friends are.
And your biggest enemy is
the snitch.
well, not only the snitch, but the cat that's your right hand man.
Yeah.
Right.
Your right hand man becomes your biggest enemy.
Yeah, because he sees
Seen
what you
it too
got,
many times. He know exactly what you got.
where it is,
Knows all of it.
and then that knucklehead gal gonna tell on you.
Yeah.
Y'all seen that series Snowfall?
Yeah.
On Hulu? Franklin Saint. Yeah.
That's a good series.
It's a real good series, but it's exactly that.
Yeah.
It's exactly that.
What's that old saying they used to have? Keep your enemies close and your friends
Closer? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
But I know several brothers that have been murdered by their homeboy, their right-hand man.
man.
Cats that I was real close with got murdered by their homeboy, the cats that they trusted most. Had a partner, 21 years old, got murdered, shot up in his car by the cat that was driving in the passenger seat. Because he wanted his spot. So he hops out the car and shoot up the car to make it seem like it was the cats that they just got in a confrontation with at the club. But it was him. He the one that did it.
You want your position
He wants your position.
and your gas problem.
So,
Yeah, bro.
this is, I ran into some time back, there was a young lady, and she said that she didn't want any broke man.
Yeah, because that's the mindset now. You have to have materialistic wealth to either date these little gals now. Ain't nobody bringing nothing to the table worthwhile.
But guess what? And I'm gonna let you go. There was a young man, he knew about her, and he came up, and he was born into wealth. Black. But he came up to her, pretending like he didn't have any money, played the game, and she was like, and she finally told him one day, she said, I don't want to spend time with you because you don't have anything. You don't have anything going. And the young lady that was right down the street that he had been seeing, because he was trying to decide which one he was going to marry. And as he was trying to marry, trying to see which one was worth something to marry that would love him just for who he is. After she cussed him out and everything, he knew who it was, and he went right along and married this other young lady. And then this other woman got upset, and went to fight the man and the woman.
Yeah, because she didn't know. Oh, you hid all your wealth from me. I didn't know you had paper.
I'd acted right.
You didn't give me a chance to turn over a new leaf.
But he gave her a year.
Yeah, but see, Mama, that's the mindset of I ain't gonna say just women today. Everybody, that's just the mindset, the materialistic mindset of this generation. And it's not just this present generation. You have old knuckleheads my age and older that's still on that same stuff. Age don't mean you're grown. You just might be an old knucklehead. You know? But that's the mindset now. Get the paper, got to show me that you're successful.
Right.
Hey, last I will say something you were saying about the getting the bag,
Uh-huh.
the illegal part. I had a contractor that was to work on my house, so I needed some money. So I said, I'm gonna go down to the bank and get your money. I went down, I needed $4,500. I go to the bank, they tell me that I can't get cash, I can get a cashier's check. I said, no. They say, well, we can't give you nothing over $3,000 after a certain time. So what you do, you call us and tell us you want the money, we'll allocate it for the next day.
Your money.
My money.
Yeah,
I done dealt with that
Yeah.
before.
Yeah,
yeah,
I dealt with that before. I was trying to pull 10,000 out, and I had to set an appointment.
yeah.
yeah. Your money. Yeah, just like you have, if you go to an ATM to get some money out of your account, if it's not your bank, they charging you a fee to process your money.
Yeah.
You gotta pay $3 or $2.50 to get some of your money. So they like, we want part of your money. We want a percentage of that we giving you of your money that you work for. They didn't put a hand in on the plow for your money, but they getting it.
That's keeping it safe for you.
Yeah.
Because they say, look, now if you want to take these $15,000 and put it in that safe in your basement, and little Earl and little Willie them see you go in there with that safe,
You won't have
you
none.
ain't gonna have none. So you better bring it back to us.
So you need to you be safer here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So technically, the only money you have is what's in your house that you have total control of.
Right.
Because the banks don't even have money. That's what they told me. We don't have that much money. That's why you got to set an appointment so we can make sure we got that money, but we still got money to function for the day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And not only that, but the feds can say, turn his money off.
Yeah.
Block it
Yeah.
until we get through with our investigation.
Right.
Well, you
They-
don't know what that'll do to the average Negro.
Man,
Money
you
on
tripping.
lock.
boy, they put a
I was
lien
mad
on
'cause they made
your
me
bank
wait 2
accounts.
days.
They freeze your accounts and assets.
Well, let your check be late.
Go ahead,
It's
sis.
even
Go
next
ahead.
time.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sis.
I done quit a job behind that one.
Come on, Sister Karen.
Our Father is our source.
That's right.
Money is only our resource.
Yeah.
And Judas was the treasurer in
Yeah.
charge of all of the
He
money.
had the bag.
And he took out of it what he wanted. And his covetousness was even when the woman that poured out the anointed oil on Christ's feet. His heart wasn't after
Yeah, he
the
wanted
people
that
was
money.
poor.
He like, we can make money off of that. What you wasting that on? He like, boy, you out of control. You ate up with money, boy.
Yeah, but that's why we don't set our focus on money, because
We're not supposed
our
to.
Father, that's a creation. Our Father
We're not
created
supposed
the
to.
paper.
That's why Paul is always stating that I've learned to be content within whatever state I'm in.
That's right.
And
Because the
not
Most
only
High
that,
will provide our necessities, the
Yeah.
water, food, clothing,
That's it. Needs.
needs.
That's right.
Not wants. And just wanted to say this
Go ahead.
too, Elisha, because a lot of people think Judas, y'all have to understand, Judas had the bag, so it wasn't about the money.
No.
Because the money that they gave him wasn't even a tenth of the percentage that he already had in his bag. What he wanted to do was force the second coming.
Yeah.
So what he did is, because they only gave him 2 pieces of silver, or whatever it was, the price of chicken change. So he tried to force the hand of them to force the Messiah
Right.
to be put to death, so he could hurry up
Usher
and bring
in.
the kingdom in now,
Right.
because he didn't want to wait. So he didn't understand the true riches he
Right.
had.
Exactly.
You here with the king, you got the Holy Spirit right here, you got your lock on the kingdom.
Right.
But you want it right now.
Because he
right
want-
now, we want
Right.
it now.
He want to be able to see it because see,
Yeah.
his hope was that which is tangible.
Oh,
Yes.
Hebrews 11, huh?
Yeah. He wanted what was tangible. He didn't want to wait for that which he didn't want to have the faith to wait for that which is foreseen way off.
Yeah.
Right.
So his whole sin was impatience.
Yeah.
That's why the scripture say, woe to them that are impatient.
Right.
Because you'll start doing anything, when you lose patience, you start doing anything to try to rush the hand, force the hand of Elohim. And it ain't gonna work. It'll never work. Hold this, that Ecclesiastes 31. Hit this Ecclesiastes, this Sirach 39 and 24 so we can see what the necessities of man's life, 29 and 26.
29.
Sirach chapter 29, verse 26 and 27, we see what the necessities of man's life are that Most High provides for man. We'll also see it when Paul states it. I can't remember the chapter right off, but I get it to you.
All right, so this is Ecclesiastes, also known as Sirach, chapter 29.
39. Did I say 29?
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
You
39,
said
y'all.
them both.
Okay.
I'm sorry. 30,
You go to 39.
39 and 26.
Okay.
I'm sorry, y'all. 30. That's Sirach 39 and 26 and 27.
Sirach chapter 39
26
and verse 26 and 27.
Sis say start at 25.
All right, verse 25. For the good.
Everybody there?
Okay. It reads, for the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for sinners. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil, and clothing. All these things are for the good to the godly. So to the sinners, they are turned into evil.
Because the wicked is like, man, miss me with that. I need that paper.
Yeah.
And I can buy all that.
Yeah.
And then some.
Yeah.
See, the godly are content with that. We good with that because everything beyond that is provided for by Elohim.
Yeah.
We trust in him
Yeah.
to be governors of our lives, set the paths for our feet, and all that. That's where our trust and faith has to lie. Not in these materialistic things. That's why he's constantly saying, seek him now while he can be found. Seek the kingdom first. Seek spiritual wealth first.
That's right.
Because you're going to die. Every man is appointed to die. Hebrews 9:27. It's appointed for every man to die once and then the judgment.
Yeah.
But he that seeketh the kingdom first and everything added unto, then you're seeking eternal life. That's eternal wealth. That's wealth forever. Never to be sick. A mansion, many mansions
Yeah.
that you didn't even buy or build. That's the wealth we need to be seeking.
Yes, sir.
Matthew chapter 6 and verse 19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth,
Yes, sir.
where moth and rust do it corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal.
That's right.
But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust do it corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal.
That's right. Let's get back to this Ecclesiastes chapter 31. Let's finish that out up to verse 10 and then jump back into the, hit these couple of Ecclesiastes and get back to Esther, y'all.
Yeah, verse 11, right? So went down to verse 11.
Verse 11,
Yeah,
okay.
verse 6. Gold has been the ruin of many, and their destruction was present. It is a stumbling block unto them that sacrifice unto it, and every fool shall be taken therewith. Blessed is the rich that is found without blemish, and hath not gone after gold.
So he said there's a blessed man who is rich, who's without blemish because he's not set in sin. Even though he's a sinner, he's not acting, he's not doing wickedly for that money or for his riches. Like Abraham, like Lot,
Yeah. Like Jacob.
Jacob. And we can go on and on and on. Who didn't set their heart on riches, but they set their heart on eternal riches, which is the kingdom.
Yeah.
And everything was added thereunto. Because what they sought after was wisdom and guidance from Elohim.
And
He provides all.
it was for the people, just like with Solomon.
He-
He prayed to govern the people.
Yeah.
And the Most High gave him all that he had.
Yeah, he wanted that
Because he
wisdom.
didn't want it for himself.
No.
He wanted it for the people.
Just like what we was reading about Esther. Esther wasn't seeking safety and everything for herself. She was seeking it for the people.
Yeah.
She had a care for the people.
Yeah.
And that's where our care has to be for our people. We have to be able to extend this love not just amongst us that we just know personally. He said the publicans love those whom they know. We have to extend beyond that. We have to go beyond that and show this love towards the brethren.
That's right.
Read on, brother. Finish that out.
Verse 9.
Yes, sir.
Who is he? And we will call him blessed, for wonderful things hath he done among his people, who hath been tried thereby, and found perfect.
Abraham was a rich man and
That's
tried,
right. That's right.
and was found perfect. Was called the friend of Elohim.
That's right.
He tried them. Abraham had riches, was sitting on swole. But remember, Abraham got thrown in the fiery furnace.
Yes.
Abraham been tried
Yeah.
on several occasions. Job was filthy rich.
Yeah.
Job went through 48 years of turmoil and tribulation and pain, but came out a perfect man. Doubled up on everything he had. Filthy rich, but he didn't care about his riches.
No.
He said, naked I came into this world, naked I shall leave.
That's right.
Job, being a Gentile, understood
That's right.
the spiritual nature of Elohim and trusted and believed in that. Being a Gentile of the seed of Esau.
Watch it. You say he didn't want to be buried with a $100 bill neck.
No, he could care less. But his wife did. His wife was like, curse your God and die.
Yeah.
He was like, woman, you speak as a foolish woman.
Right.
He told her like she was Satan. Get thee behind me, Satan.
Yeah.
He that loveth wife and father and daughter and son more than me is not worthy to be a disciple. Read on, bro.
Verse 10. Who has been tried thereby and found perfect? Then let him glory, who might offend and hath not offended, or done evil and hath not done it.
Everybody has done all these things, you know, but it's about how you deal, your faith and belief in Elohim that will bring you through these matters.
Yeah.
Read on.
His good shall be established, and the congregation shall declare his alms.
His alms, his charity
Yes.
amongst the brethren. Read on. Oh, that was it?
Yeah, that was
okay. Back in this Ecclesiastes in the 66 books, we was in that chapter 5 and 9. Chapter 5, verse 9, down to 13. No, go down to 16. And then you're going to want to read the whole thing on out.
It's only 17.
Okay, we'll read on down to 20 then. Since you're going to do that, going on out to 20. It's only 3. We're starting it at 9. Chapter 5, verse 9.
Yeah, 5, verse 9.
Yeah, just going on to 20. Just read it on out.
Okay.
Oh, I'm in the wrong book.
That might be why.
I just see the E and going with it.
At least you're an honest man.
Hey, I mess up all the time.
Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 9. Any questions? Tuba?
So far, so good, bro.
All right, this is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5 and verse 9. Moreover, the profit of the earth is for all. The king himself is served by the field.
So all of us, fruits and vegetables come out of the earth. Just for everybody the same, the poor, the rich alike. The earth has yielded its fruits and its substance. Read on.
He that loveth silver shall not be satisfied with silver, nor he that loveth abundance with increase. This is also vanity.
I don't care how much you get, you're gonna want more. Because Satan ain't who's the God of this world. If you're seeking worldly things, then he's gonna put you in that addiction mode that you will never be satisfied.
Paper chase.
You'll have an insatiable appetite for whatever it is you're addicted to.
Never satisfied.
Never satisfied. Read on.
When goods increase, they are increased that eat them. And what good is there to the owners thereof, saving the beholding of them with their eyes?
But look at all this paper I got. Look at all this dope. Whoa. Ain't that what Franklin was doing in Snowfall? He going in them warehouses and all that money stacked up and all them keys of cocaine and everything, just looking. What you gonna do with all of it but just increase, increase, and increase? But while you're increasing war, insecurities,
Yeah.
all kind of dangers, worldly dangers.
And when you gone, you ain't getting it. You can't take it with you. The person you want to have it probably ain't gonna get it. The state probably gonna take it.
Especially under illegal game. Feds coming to get all that. Confiscated all.
Yeah.
And what did hold on. Matter of fact, it did happen in Snowfall. Remember the CIA confiscated all his goods, 76 million. 76 million. Took it all in one whop, made one phone call, and had all his wealth.
And look, Elisha, when they make a deal with you, they tell you, if we find $2 anywhere,
Right.
the deal's off the table.
Deal off
Now
the
you
table.
gave them $50 million. All the money you had hid under the
No,
doghouse.
but they telling you we want every
All of
last bit of it.
That you
All
made.
of it.
All of it that you
Because,
made.
and then what they're gonna do is turn around and put it in the hands of somebody else to do their dirty work.
Sure will.
They're gonna recycle it all back over again and destroy many more lives. That's how they get down.
We want the money you forgot about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Read on.
Verse 12. The sleep of a laboring man is sweet, whether he eat little or much. But the abundance of the rich will not suffer him to sleep.
Because he can't. He gotta watch. He gotta have dogs by his bed. Pit bulls everywhere around the house. Sleeping with AKs and 45s under the pillow. No, he ain't sleeping. He's doing cat naps.
Yeah, cat naps ain't nice. Thought he heard something in the back door.
What was that?
What was that? Who that coming for this?
It was a cat.
Who that?
It was
Who
a
that
cat.
coming
Who that?
It was a cat.
Who that coming for this ill guy's cat?
Yeah. Read on.
There is a sore evil which I have seen under the sun, namely, riches kept from the owners thereof of their hurt.
He said there's a sore evil, namely riches kept under the owners, kept for the owners thereof to their hurt. Read on.
But those riches perish by evil travail.
Oh, you see that? Because as long as your mindset is on the worldly gain, you best believe evil is at the door. Because Elohim is nowhere in that equation.
That's right.
You trusted in the God of this world to supply you and keep you steady. He don't care about you.
Let me read this right quick. Ecclesiastes chapter 6, verse 1 and 2. There is an evil which I have seen under the sun, and is common among men. A man to whom Yahweh hath given riches, wealth, and honor, so that he wanted nothing for his soul of all that he desired. Yet Yahweh giveth him not power to eat thereof, but a stranger eateth it. And this is vanity, and it is an evil disease.
Yes, sir.
An evil disease. You stacking all that paper for somebody else.
Yep.
You going through all that travail and hurt and hurting others to your own destruction. We read that those who the love of money, those who seek the love of, who have the love of money pierces themselves through. Many sorrows. Read on. Is that all you wanted of that?
Hey,
said it like the 70s or 80s.
Yeah, it's basically 80s South Central LA.
I've seen the kids of it.
Finish out that chapter 5.
This book of Ecclesiastes 5 and verse 14. But those riches perish by evil travail, and he begetteth a son, and there is nothing in his hand.
So all that money that the 5-0 done just confiscated, you ain't got nothing left for your child. And he know all the riches you had, but when he grew up, he ain't got a cent. A pot to piss in and a
You
window to throw out.
deprived that child to get them riches, and now he ain't even getting it.
So what happens is, because now he don't know, or he doesn't have, and he saw what you had, now he's growing up to try to emulate what you did to get those riches.
Take it.
Because you didn't teach him about Elohim. You didn't ground him in and establish him in no truth and faith. So now his whole existence is based on, I got to get that bag like my daddy. I got to have that same reputation that my daddy had. My daddy was the big dog. I got to be the big dog too. But the only problem is your son is growing up in a whole different generation. And this generation don't care about who your namesake is. I will flatline you.
But see, that's what I was just about to say. I grew up in the 70s, down on the west side. And there was a pimp lived next door to my mama. And we were, he had 1-bedroom apartment, 3 whores, a Cadillac with a spade in the back window and puffy roof. I know y'all remember these old schools. But I mean, I grew up, you know, seeing that stuff and actually growing up, and a lot of my friends was selling drugs and stuff and had nice cars and wheels and all this. But we would only cruise around the ghetto. We wouldn't take them cars out to the county.
Wouldn't go to the county at all.
At all.
You better not go out
And that's all you see is, so these dudes, that's all they do all day. They sell dope. We was buying Chinamen for the neighborhoods, and we were just, you know, just balling in the hood. But that's as far as it went.
That's all you.
We wasn't out in Chesterfield, Creve Coeur. We wasn't trying to invest any money. Those weren't our role models. Our role models were these losers who, you know, selling dope to the community, keeping everything in an uproar and upheaval. And then they killing each other. They don't want to go out with a white man at, because a white man gonna pull them over and be like, "Hey, what you doing out there? Where you get them rims? How old are you, boy?" You know. So they didn't want that. But that's all we had to look up to in the hood. That and Bruce Lee movies. So, you know. But
like,
yeah, it's just different signs of time.
It's like I went through something at 10 years old, saw one of my classmates get shot. How did I know to avoid talking to the police at 10 years old? And not telling them what I seen? How do I know that at 10 years old not to tell them what I seen? I'm at home hiding, waiting on them to leave the school so I can go back to school.
Right, because you knew it was wrong where the money was coming from. So it's not hard, y'all. No. But we have to be careful though that, see, there's a fine line between snitching and Leviticus 5:1.
Yeah.
So if we'll real quick, read that for me real quick, just Leviticus 5:1. Because snitching is we go in together on crime.
Well,
and I tell on you.
Right.
I'm a snitch because I told on my partner in crime. But if you see somebody kill somebody and the police find out you saw it,
they come
you have to go to court.
Yep.
If they summon you, it's a different thing if you part of that group and you say, well, no, I'm going to plead the fifth. But if you see it and word get out, Junior saw it, but he's scared they're going to lock him up.
Right.
They're going to subpoena you, and the law say you must go to court if you're subpoenaed.
Yep.
Understand that, y'all. I'm not saying just look out the window and see something and say, I'm going to court tomorrow. No, if they find out
that you don't,
read that what they say, like on that.
Leviticus chapter 5 verse 1. And if a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing and is a witness whether he has seen or known of it, if he do not utter it, then he shall bear his iniquity.
That's right.
Or if a soul touch any unclean thing, whether it be a carcass of an unclean beast or a carcass of an unclean cattle, or the carcass of an unclean creeping thing, and if it be hidden from him, he also shall be unclean and guilty. Or if he touch the uncleanness of a man, whatsoever uncleanness it be that a man shall be defiled withal, and it be hid from him, when he knoweth of it, then he shall be guilty. Or if a soul swear, pronouncing with his lips to do evil, or to do good, whatsoever it be that a man shall pronounce with an oath, and it be hid from him, when he knoweth of it, then he shall be guilty in one of these. And it shall be, when he shall be guilty in one of these things, that he shall confess that he hath sinned in that thing. And he shall bring his trespass offering unto the Elohim for his sin which he hath sinned, a female from the flock, a lamb or a kid of the goats, for a sin offering, and the priest shall make an atonement for him concerning his sin.
Yeah, so that's all it was saying. If you witness the thing, if you hear the vow, if you see it, and you don't say nothing,
You guilty.
that blood on your hands.
It's just like,
like Mordecai.
Ecclesiastes 3 and 30.
Yeah.
And Mordecai and Esther.
Yeah.
When he
I
heard
mean,
them two cats was
Ezekiel.
trying to get at the king.
Yeah.
Or just like Daniel and the two judges with Susanna.
Yep.
Okay, let's finish out that Ecclesiastes 5, and I just want to hit that 1, 7, and 12, and then jump back into this Esther. Finish this Esther.
All right, we back in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5, and verse 15. As he came forth of his mother's womb, naked shall he return to go as he came, and shall take nothing of his labor, which he hath made carry away in his hand. And this also is a sore evil, that in all points as he came, so shall he go. And what profit have he that have labored for the wind?
So all that's gone to naught.
Right.
All that paper chasing you did is for naught.
Right.
For naught. You labored for the wind.
You spent your energy chasing money instead of serving the Most High.
And look, y'all, why we have to be careful too, especially if you send your children to public school. A little girl did an essay, "My mama shot my daddy."
What?
And they bring it out, would say she told him to get out because he wasn't bringing them in. But she say they got to fight, and say she shot at him in the house and told him, "Go sleep in the car. I don't care where you go." They arrested the mama. Children bring pistols to school
Yeah.
that they see laying out, so you have to be careful. And if they feel that it's like that, they bring the dope to school
Yeah. Yeah.
because they think it's making money, so then I can share it at school the same way my parents do.
Right.
So, y'all, it's a terrible thing when that
Yeah.
money chasing, because all of the rules of raising children go out the window
Yes.
at that point.
All of it. Because I seen it when I was coming up.
Yeah.
Cats bringing dope to school. Slanging dope in the hallways. Dope that they stole from their parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Parents probably didn't even notice.
Just baby,
Yeah.
remember I did that.
Read. Boy, you something else.
Yeah.
I thought I was bad, boy. Boy, you make me look
Hey,
like I
didn't
ain't
know
have
it
no
was bad. I
problem.
didn't know it was wrong when I did it.
That boy terrible still
I
ball.
was only 13. Shoot, I didn't know no better. I was doing what they told me.
Finish this out, Levi.
Go ahead.
All right, verse 17. All his days also he eateth in darkness, and he have much sorrow and wrath with his sickness. Behold, that which I have seen, it is good and comely for one to eat and to drink, and to enjoy the good of all his labor, that he taketh under the sun all the days of his life, which Yah giveth him, for it is his portion.
If you eat, if you work, you eat.
That's right.
He said that's a good thing. You labor for it, go on and enjoy it. Read on.
every man also to whom Yah have given riches and wealth, and have given power to eat thereof, and to take his portion, and to rejoice in his labor. This is the gift of Yah.
Long as you work.
Right.
That's because, and the reason is because you're doing his commandment. He said a man must work to the sweat of his brow.
That's what it says.
So since you're doing what he commanded us to do, then your portion is to eat, to sleep, get good rest, and enjoy what you labored for.
Right.
Right.
If you establish riches through your work ethics and things of this nature, beautiful. Enjoy that which you have.
Right.
So we're saying that the Most High it's not about you not being rich. He's not about you not having. If you labored for it, enjoy it.
Yes, sir.
That's your portion.
That's right.
If you labored and you want to go buy you a Benz and a Lexus and all that and a nice house, that's your portion.
Yes, it is.
And that's a beautiful thing. And we as brethren should love that. And embrace that for our brethren. Love that. You worked hard for that, brother. You deserve that, sister.
Yes,
that's your portion.
Just
Why are we
understand.
going to hate on someone for having something good and they labored for that?
Yes, sir.
That's true hating. They worked for it. They deserve that.
Yes, sir.
Why not? The Most High says that's his gift. That's your portion. Yeah, Tupac.
Ecclesiastes 9:9. Live joyfully with the wife whom thou lovest all the days of the life of thy vanity, which he hath given thee under the sun, all the days of thy vanity. But this is thy portion in this life, and in thy labor which thou takest under the sun.
So, and you see how labor was added unto that?
Yes, sir.
Work was added to that. Because in your laboring, you're taking care of that wife.
That's right.
You're not an infidel.
Right.
You're taking care of that which you've taken possession of.
Right.
So you've taken this woman from her mother and father. You must provide for her.
That's right.
Exactly.
And that household or anyone that you bring under that. That's the gift.
See, it ain't to give you. You say, did your mama send me a plate too? Maybe a
That's a beggar. That's a beggar. Read it, Sirach chapter 41 about the beggar. That's a beggar. A beggar's life is not to be counted as a life.
Yeah.
You sit back, you got some spare change.
Yeah.
Can somebody make me a plate today?
Yeah.
What? Is anybody cooking today?
Yeah.
You ain't,
What?
You ain't
Right,
cooking.
no doubt.
Bro, you done lost your rabbit mind. What's wrong with your hands? Oh, I know what's wrong with your hands. You don't labor.
Right.
Soft as medicated cotton.
Like that song, I got work to do. I can't think of the name of the.
But you remember the one song where it started coming in? Ain't nothing going on but the rent. Gotta have a J-O-B if you wanna be with me. Remember sisters was singing that loud, boy. You come up. Hey sister, can I take you got a job? Oh, you ain't got a job. Ain't nothing going on but the rent. Gotta have a J-O-B if you wanna be with me.
Yeah.
But they were setting a standard.
Yeah.
Go work.
Yeah.
No scrubs.
Hanging out the passenger.
Hanging out the passenger side. Hey,
Hey, you want to ride?
yeah,
Like,
hey,
that's what you getting?
hey, let me tell you something. Hey, this is fun. I'm gonna get to you, Jeremiah.
To be out of there.
Hey, slow it up, y'all. Slow it up.
I'm just saying, now the brothers and sisters also that we encounter on the street, and they're begging us for change. They are considered beggars.
They are beggars
They are beggars.
because they're not working. We're not doing nothing.
So what do we have? Man, I'm not, and they're your brothers. And
Look him in his eye and say, "I have nothing for you."
That's what I'll tell them. That's what I'll tell them.
I had to tell one cat,
Bad
spare
on
change.
that, but
I got
still.
children.
Right.
If I'm gonna give any spare change, it's gonna go to my offspring. I don't know you, nigga.
I see it all the time, and they approach me all the time.
Look, Jeremiah.
And I hate to turn them down, but I do.
Look,
Because
so you
you
don't
can
get
work just
mixed
like
up,
I can.
Jeremiah. So you don't get it mixed up.
Yes, sir.
If their sign says, "I will work,"
Work.
that's a difference.
That's a difference.
So he may have become poor, may have lost his job, or what he's gonna always say. Okay. What he's gonna always say is, "I will work for whatever you
A
get.
plate
I'll
or
take
whatever.
the grocery cart back if you let me get the 50 cents back out, a quarter out of the machine.
Right.
How can I,
Right.
take your groceries to you for 50 cents? So that's a different.
Yeah.
poor.
That's a, yeah, I
Yeah,
understand.
that-
He's still working to lay.
He's doing something
Versus
for
you
it.
got some spare change,
They
and
ain't
hand
saying
always
spare
shake
change no
like
more.
a cup.
I had a cat open the door for me.
Yeah,
Just bought a pizza for the family.
yeah.
I'm coming out. So the cat opened the door. He said, "You got some, you got anything you can help me out with, brother?" So this particular day, I had increase.
Yeah,
So I gave one dude a paper dollar,
yeah.
gave the other dude a coin dollar. Now, hear what I'm saying? You know, the ones that look like yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to my car. The cat I gave the coin to comes back to me. He says, hey, excuse me, man. I said, what's up? He said, man, you gave him $1 and you only gave me a quarter. I say, ain't this about a blip? I don't care if it was a quarter.
Right,
It's a quarter more than what you got.
right.
I say, brother, let me see
You
that.
don't even know what you begging for?
So I took it out of his hand. I say, can you read? I say, read that under there. It says $1. Oh, I'm sorry. I said, don't worry about it. I put it in my I holler at you.
I know now, because sometimes, like I said, I felt a little bad about not, because they was my brothers and sisters, and I see it that way. But you can't help everybody.
No.
Use discernment.
And people like that who comes up to you, if you give them a quarter on Monday, Tuesday, they right back there trying to get on
It's
that.
your choice. It's your choice. And like I
Right.
say, all you have to do is look them in the eye. You can't turn your eye from them, because it could be a poor man just lost his job
Right, right.
and got a family. So you just look them in the eye, and if they say, hey, you got it, you just, but usually a poor man gonna say, how can I come up? You got a
Right.
way for me to come up. We'll work for food. When you see that, but when you hear spare change, then it's your choice.
Right.
At that point, you don't have to feel guilty. All you have to do is look him in the eye, and if you say, I ain't got enough, you at least done that to where, in case it was a poor man or an angel unawares, you still following the rules of charity, because the Bible don't tell you to give your money away because somebody's standing on the corner asking for it.
Right.
It tells you to look out for the poor, and poor is an economic status. It's not a beggar. You got poor, you got middle class, and then you got rich.
And that's what I was waiting.
Poor run out of money
Yeah.
because they got too many bills. They got more money than money.
Let me hear something real quick.
Go ahead, Elijah.
This is Sirach chapter 12. Sirach chapter 12 verse, I'm going to start at 1 and go down to 6 or 7. It says, when thou wilt do good, know to whom thou doest it,
Yeah.
so shalt thou be thanked for thy benefits.
Yes, sir.
Do good to the godly man,
Uh-huh.
and thou shalt find a recompense. And if not from him, yet from the Most High. There can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth no alms.
Uh-huh.
Give to the godly man, and help not a sinner.
See what it say, Elisha?
Give to the godly man, and help not a sinner.
Uh-huh.
Do well unto him that is lowly, but give not to the ungodly. Hold back thy bread.
Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all see them instructions on giving?
That's straight.
Y'all-
And give it not unto him, lest he overmaster thee thereby, for else thou shalt receive twice as much evil for all the good thou shalt have done unto him.
Yeah.
Matthew 7:16, cast not thy pearls before swine.
Yeah.
Brother Nice, got a comment. I'll be in the grocery store a lot of times, and might be a female in front of me, and everything that she's taking out the cart is for the shop baby.
Right.
And I said, no, hold on. And the lady said, well, I got to put this. I said, I got that. Don't worry about it.
Right. But
Am I wrong for doing that?
no.
No. No.
She didn't ask.
Because
Right.
she didn't ask you, but you was
saw
given.
what was going on.
Right.
You analyzed the situation.
Right.
And help.
For the shop there.
Yeah, but she didn't have. She probably labors and don't have enough to buy all that. She only has enough to buy the necessities.
Right.
And so some of those little ones that those short leggers want, she can't afford that. So you lending a helping hand, she probably went home and thanked the Most High
Yeah.
for that act of kindness and charity and alms.
Yeah.
But that's what we're supposed to do as brethren,
Right.
so that they see our light and they want to emulate that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we just say, pay it forward. Do good unto the next individual.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you don't have to.
Right.
It's in the act itself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the scripts say, the instructions say, give not to an ungodly man.
That's right.
Because he like, shit, nigga, give me some more.
Right.
Right.
He start expecting you to give him.
Yeah.
Mess around and rob.
Oh, nigga, you got paid today.
Yeah, I know you got it.
You got it.
You got it. Give me all of it since you don't
Yeah.
want to give me none.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And it will happen, especially today. Yeah, my brother.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, my brother.
So I was wondering, because it's this guy I grew up with, he's serving a lot of time. He still got like 8 more years. And so I've been putting money on his books, trying to help him out. So I wanted to know, does he fall in that same category as a beggar? Because I was feeling, the reason why I was helping him out, because I feel like the judgment that the system gives us is a little harsher than what I feel is like deserved.
Right.
He was with the wrong person. He didn't commit the crime, but he was with the person that committed it.
Yes.
So he got a lot of time. So I've been helping him out, but it's like, it's starting to be too much. I can't help you for 8 more years.
Right. Well,
Right.
see, what you need to do is also turn him on to this truth.
Right.
And so he
That
can
was
start
his
helping
word.
himself in the script, in the spiritual sense. And he starts seeking salvation in truth.
Right.
And the Most High will start providing for him.
Yeah. Send them some real compensation.
But send him real commissary. Send him this word. This is just like when we want to feed our people, we got to also feed them spiritually first.
Right.
So they know how to
Right.
feed themselves from here on after.
Right.
Because right now, what you're doing is making them dependent upon
Right.
you.
So he's going to expect
You know,
that.
he's
that
expecting that.
He's going to expect it. And when you don't see it, what's going on, bro?
Right.
Oh, you
leave me hanging.
Oh, now you ain't no love for me. Now it's bitterness. Why?
Right.
Brother, I done supported you all this time. I got a family. I can't do it forever.
Right.
Don't make it a hard.
Brother, don't make it hard for me. You can't give what you don't have.
Right.
Brother, you got to take care of you and yours.
Yeah.
You still have freedom.
I think I saw you come in with a short legged, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and,
Oh, okay.
and understand, because you have to always remember, did he have the opportunity to say, let me out the car, though?
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if he rolled away and understand, yeah, you can get caught up that easy, because everybody in the car going to jail.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you know, then you get behind the 8 ball and look, they only give you 3 meals a day.
That's right.
After that, you know, you're not self-sustained if you don't have some Roman noodles to the
Right,
side,
right.
something to knock that edge off, like we go to the refrigerator or the cabinet any time of night.
Right.
You know, hell, we go get some any time of
Right.
the night, as long as you got some money or a pistol.
Right.
So, you know, yeah, you can get something to eat.
Right.
But they're locked down once the door closed, and you'll watch somebody be 200 pounds drop down to 160
Yeah.
if they don't have commissary. So we understand that part, but you gotta teach them. If they put them in a hole, the commissary cut off anyway.
Right.
So you gotta teach them how to survive off of spiritual bread and water.
Yes.
In case your commissary get cut off too.
That's right.
This-
So what happens
This can
if
feed you when you ain't got no physical.
that's
food.
right.
Yeah.
Because the Most High says, regardless, in Sirach 16, regardless how much fruit and berries and all that you got, if you ain't got Elohim, it don't mean nothing.
It don't mean
It ain't gonna save you. So he can have all the commissary he want, but if he ain't got Christ, it ain't gonna do him no bit of good. It might get them to the next day. Well, what about the next day?
Yeah.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And what happens if you lose everything you got?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
You can't provide for him because now you got to try to provide for you. So now he's cut off anyway.
Right.
But if he has Elohim in his life,
Yeah.
he will sustain him.
Right.
He will sustain him. Remember, Elijah was fed by ravens.
Yeah.
You better come on now.
So we got to have faith in this,
Yeah,
man.
that's right.
We got to have 150% faith in this with no doubt.
Yeah.
Hebrews 3 say they couldn't enter into his rest because of doubt.
Yeah.
And see, that's the thing. He can't just read this. He's
Right.
got to have faith.
He has to have
fully convicted in his heart.
It's got to be fully convinced.
I just wanted to speak on what y'all are speaking about. This is my first time here, and I really did come and I got confirmation from God because I've been wanting to give to the homeless for months now. And I told my mom and my sister about what I was planning to do. But it was God all through the midst period because what I wanted to do, what was on my heart, it wasn't wise. And they told me that. It was like, it's not wise if you put physical cash or like gift cards in little bags to give to the homeless because you basically are a sitting duck for people who claim that they need help, but they really don't. They're begging, like y'all just literally said. They're beggars disguised as being just poor. So I've been like praying about it like for months, like God, how can I do this and still be safe? I know I need men with me. I need men around me.
Shabbat shalom, bro.
I can't be alone.
Right.
But the scriptures that y'all just gave me is the Holy Spirit and the truth that I needed to hear. Because I was conflicted. I was like, I don't know what to do, but I want to help. How can I help my brethren? And I don't know what to do. I don't want to be a sitting duck, and I don't want to give to the wrong person and they take advantage of me.
But what you do, sister, is give them their necessities.
Yeah.
Like what we're going to read about in this Purim and what our whole memorial about Purim and what we're supposed to do. That's what this class is about, you know, is providing for our brethren that are without. However, we need to just provide them their necessities.
Right.
All those wants, they have to seek on their own.
Yes, sir.
But we have to provide the necessities. Water, deodorant, cleansing agent, things of that nature to take care of their physical being, to help them through the next phase or whatever. But perishable things we can't provide them. Money, you can't provide them because now you're starting to feed their addiction again. And that's all you'll do. And they'll look for you. They'll start seeking you out to feed their addiction because they know she got it. She got it, and she's very giving. She's a godly woman, and we're gonna get everything we can from her. And we've had it in here, sister. That cast and come in here and try to fleece the pockets of those because they know they're seeking the kingdom. So just because we Israel don't mean the foolishness stops. Scriptures say, try the spirit of every man, not some, every man to see who they represent. We can't forget the instructions that our Elohim gives us about how to live our life and how to provide for others. This is an instruction manual. It's an instruction about everything we deal with in our everyday lives and how we deal with our brethren in everyday lives. It's all in here. It's in the sauce. This is the ragu. It's in the sauce.
That's right.
Okay? Colossians chapter 2 says, you are complete in Christ. Everything you need, in him you're complete.
That's right.
You need nothing else. You don't need no money and all that stuff. He's going to provide what you need. If that's what your heart is, sister, and we're going to read in 1 Corinthians 13 about charity and alms. This is something we're supposed to do as brethren, extending our love. Okay? And we'll touch on those things. But yes.
But look, sis, also says what we're going over is because we have a feast day coming in called the Feast of Purim. Tomorrow sundown and Monday sundown. So you see everybody bringing some lives back there, clothes and different things. So we make up gift bags for the homeless. So So we'll be down here Monday evening, and if y'all ain't doing nothing, Monday evening about 5 to 8 or 9, we'll be down here getting those ready, and then we hand those out to the poor, deodorant, toothpaste, toothbrushes. So we make up a number of bags back there.
Okay.
So that's how we do that part of the feast, and as they continue on going over this feast day, that's what we're going over today, so you get understanding on perfect giving. You know, because you can give and think the Lord gonna reward you for it. He said, I didn't tell you to give like that.
Right.
That you did that on your own.
Right.
So everything from the Lord by instructions.
Everything. We have to follow the instructions given. Not, you may get in something in your heart that you want to just do something extra. That's on you, sir.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it's nothing that says you can't do that. But be careful of what it is you give.
Yep.
Okay? Be very careful about what it is you extend to brethren, whether deserving or non-deserving.
They'll make a victim out of it.
Yeah, they will sure do it. Because remember, Satan is the god of this earth.
Yeah.
He's the god of this world right now.
They'll be watching.
2 Corinthians chapter 4.
Get caught in that blue bag over there.
Satan is the god of this world. Finish that out, bro, Levi. So move on.
Yeah,
Did you finish that out?
Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 20. For he shall not much remember the days of his life, because Yah answered him in the joy of his heart.
Okay, Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 12. We're going to just hit that one. And then we get back on over here to our lesson at hand.
Yeah, like if you
and 10 and 19.
10, 19, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, because that's one very important.
Yeah.
That people, so you don't feel like paper chasing, like this contradicting what the Bible is saying.
Right.
Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 12. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it.
So it says money is a defense to help pay your bills,
Yeah,
to keep the hunger pains off.
yeah,
You know, things of the nature, cleanse your body,
yeah,
pay your bills, keep a roof over your head, your necessities. So it is a defense.
yeah,
Scriptures never say not to have money,
right.
or that you can't have money, or
Right.
that you can't be rich. But if you're going to be rich, put your heart and mindset on the kingdom,
Right.
so that your riches you can profit thereby with. You'll live a good life with those riches, and you have something to pass on to your offspring,
Yeah,
an inheritance. But riches ill gained, it's going to be left for nobody.
yeah,
Yeah, your spirituality is connected to your finances. Your finances is connected to your spirituality. How you spend your money tells you where you are at spiritually. There are some people in the rich, the super rich, that try to give away all their money. You know, other people just keep a little bit, right? Because their spiritual center is,
It's greater than what they have, what the possession that they have.
yeah,
You know, and there's many people like that who will give away don't have a problem giving away what they have.
right.
Because their whole mindset and heart is set on the kingdom.
Yes.
This ain't profiting me nothing, man. You know, I done lived, been there, done that.
Yes.
I done kicked it, I done everything I could with this money.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good. I done everything I could with it. Now it's time for somebody else to enjoy some of it and have a good life. Maybe I can be a blessing to somebody else, that they can, to relieve their stress of life. But it can't be a beggar. It can't be an ungodly person that can care less about it, about Elohim.
Exactly.
Ecclesiastes 9, 10 and 19. And then we get back to this, Esther. Start at hit 18 and 19.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 18. By much slothfulness the building decayeth,
Yeah, we won't.
and through idleness of the hands the house droppeth through.
Because you ain't going to work. Being idle, what they say, idle mind is a devil's playground.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Slothfulness, lazy. You can't build a house being slothful.
No, you can't.
You can't support a household being idle and slothful.
No.
Complacent. Comfortable in your nothingness.
Yeah.
Right.
Comfortable, you say, guys.
Comfortable in nothing.
Striving for
We see it. Them homo Hebrews.
Yes.
Comfortable in nothing.
We see them homo Hebrews comfortable in nothingness.
Preaching.
Go ahead. Preaching.
All right, hit verse 19.
Yes, sir.
A feast is made for laughter, and wine maketh merry, but money answereth all things.
You see that?
Except salvation.
Except salvation.
Because you can't pay the doctor when, I don't care how many millions you got, when they get to a point and they say there's nothing else we can do, then they tell you, you need to call on your spirituality at this point, because money ain't doing nothing else for you. I don't care if you gave me $20 million. I can't stop what's happening on the inside of you.
What happened to the sister who had the issue for 12 years?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes,
She gave every penny she had to the doctors and pharmacists
And they took it too.
and all, and they were just taking it. But they did not cure her. She still had this issue for 12 years. You know what saved her? Touching the hem of Christ's garment.
Yes, sir. Stop
That was the belief and faith in Hamashiach that ended all that.
Right.
It wasn't the money. The doctors couldn't save her. The doctors couldn't stop her issue.
Right.
And so this is a perfect example of your money can't do nothing that the spirit can't.
Right.
That's just like
Christ answereth all. He handles the business.
And look, y'all, and while we're saying this too, you'll see songwriters. You say, how are they unhappy? They got 4 Benzes, they got all of this, but they write songs called 17 Rooms of Misery. I got all this wealth and I'm still looking out the window. If I could just do what them poor people do over there and smile and have fun. But I can't. I'm miserable up here.
In the
with
mind.
all this 17 rooms of misery. No matter what room I go to in this mansion, it's the same misery in that room because I don't have the happiness right here.
That's right.
And that's what
17 rooms of misery.
That's what I'm gonna say. You can have all the money in the world and buy the nicest, biggest bed in the world.
Yeah.
But you can't buy rest.
You can't buy
No.
You can't buy that.
That's good.
You can't buy it.
Like that.
Yeah.
Make a sign.
John D. Rockefeller, back in the day, he was, rich. He was super rich back then.
All right, shalom, brother.
Give me a pass over here, let me out.
We got to tell Nerve to go.
I got you.
He just looking at you.
He looking like, where you going? Ain't you supposed to be present too?
Yeah.
What you got, Theo?
But he had a disease to where he couldn't eat, digest his food right. So he was looking at this man. He was in a bar restaurant or something. The man eats spaghetti. He said, "I get half my wealth just to be able to do what he's doing right there."
Right.
Eating spaghetti because he couldn't do that. He couldn't enjoy those simple things. He was sick with all the money in the world, can't do nothing.
And what about the one boy?
Hawkins in that wheelchair.
Well, not him. The other Rockefeller that had 6 heart implants
The
and
last
still
one didn't
died.
work. That last one didn't take.
And still died.
Yeah.
All that money you pay for all them hearts still died.
Right. Corruptible flesh.
Holla, holla. Night, night, nigga. Night, night, nigga. You still going to sleep.
You ready to get back on the
Yeah.
bus or something? That's what you
No.
Just like that.
Just like that.
No. No. That's for y'all. I will stay in my lane. All right, let's get back to Esther. We was gonna hit that 8, 9. 16, 8 and 9 in the 66 books. Chapter 8 and 9 in the 66 books.
I can just play out 10 of them already recorded.
Yeah, we do have that recorded now.
What's that?
Book of Esther.
But don't do it.
It's a read-along program?
Yeah, I mean, I did it.
You can read
chapter
along.
as I went to each next chapter, I would say chapter 2, chapter 3.
Man, you should get your voice on one of them calls where people can do audio, Bible audio.
That's what we started. That's what we
That's
started.
what we start. This is our first.
This is the first one we did. Was
Oh,
the
okay.
Book of Esther.
Yeah, so it's available.
So you're going to create an app?
I don't know.
He ain't gonna create no app.
I'm
He's
finna
gonna
say,
try to get me to do it.
I am not the computer guy. Man. I'm like, I don't even know how to send it.
That'd be cool, man, because your voice is right
We
for
started.
it.
We find this our first.
You know, James Earl Jones do a voice audio of the Bible, which is really good.
Yeah, but you have to pay for that one. This one's gonna be free 99.
That's right. Esther chapter 8, 66 books. And then when we finish this, we'll go back and hit that Esther in chapter 16 in the Apocrypha. And then we'll hit 1 Corinthians 13 about charity. And then I think we'll be ready to get on out of here, y'all. Oh, it looked like we're making some Ezra time today.
That's how you went wrong the last time. You started running your mouth. That's how you went wrong the last time.
Hey, thank you, Stephen. Dan done left the building.
Dan wasn't here that day neither. That last time you claimed that, Dan wasn't here. That was all you.
You and Ariel were.
Right. But it was still all you.
It's a finger pointing cat.
That's right. I'm telling. The script say I should tell. I'm telling.
You snitching because we in this
There you
together.
go. Right. And I can't get out the car, so I'm telling.
All right, so we're going to the book of Esther in the Bible, in the 66 books, chapter 8. We're going to start the reading in verse 1. Everybody there? Let's get some understanding, family. On that day did the king Ahasuerus give the house of Haman, the Jews' enemy, unto Esther the queen. And Mordecai came before the king, for Esther had told what he was unto her. And the king took off his ring, which he had taken from Haman, and gave it unto Mordecai. And Esther set Mordecai over the house of Haman.
You see how everything turned around on when you. If you haven't read this story in your spare time, go back and read it from chapter 1, so you'll know the whole ordeal of what happened. But Mordecai and Esther were related. The king wanted Esther, she's a beautiful sister. So Mordecai was always out in the king's gate, in the open at the court of the king's gate, and he refused to bow down to Haman, who was second in charge, second in command to the king. And so Haman devised a decree to have all the Jews murdered because they wouldn't bow. He saw them as a rebellious people against the kingdom. But what happened through Queen Esther's prayers and supplications to Elohim, he intervened, divine intervention, and turned the tables completely around. Where everything that Haman devised, he ended up devising for his own self and his household.
Right.
So he had set up gallows to have Mordecai and them hung on.
Hang him thereon.
But he was instead hung thereon, him and his family. So this is what we read in Proverbs: he that layeth a trap should dig a ditch for his own soul, laying a trap for his own soul. Okay? So now we're here in chapter 8 where everything is being turned around and the king is giving these presents and gifts to Mordecai and his queen Esther. We'll read on.
Verse 3. And Esther spake yet again before the king, and fell down at his feet, and besought him with tears to put away the mischief of Haman the Agagite, and his device that he had devised against the Jews. Then the king held out the golden scepter towards Esther. So Esther arose and stood before the king and said, if it please the king, and if I have found favor in his sight, and the thing seem right before the king, and I be pleasing in his eyes, let it be written to reverse the letters devised by Haman, the son of Hammedatha the Agagite, which he wrote to destroy the Jews which are in all the king's provinces. For how can I endure to see the evil that shall come unto my people? Or how can I endure to see the destruction of my kindred?
So she's doing this for the sake of her people, even though she's the queen.
Right.
Now, she could have very well turned her back on her people and said, "Shit, I'm living good. Hell with them niggas, I ain't got nothing to do with shit. I'm on high.
Right.
I'm
Mordecai,
sitting
you on your own.
But Mordecai didn't even around the age. You Israel too.
But see, yeah. But see, they had a discussion before all this took place.
Exactly.
Don't forget where you come from.
Right.
Though you queen, don't forget where you come from.
Sooner or
But
later,
he
they're
had
going to get to you.
Right.
He had told her, don't disclose
Yeah.
your nationality,
Right.
who you are.
But it came to pass, you know.
Right, it came up. Verse 7. Then the king Ahasuerus said unto Esther the queen, and to Mordecai the Jew, behold, I have given Esther the house of Haman, and him they have hanged upon the gallows, because he laid his hand upon the Jews.
And when you go back and read how foul Haman was,
Oh, yeah.
oh, and when King came in and saw him laying on
Yeah,
Esther's
he was on
bed
Esther's
and
bed.
crying, and
He
he
was
like,
on the
oh, this
bed.
Negro done gone crazy. You was trying
Will he
to,
force the queen
this
in
nigga
front
trying
of
to
you?
rape my wife now? This Negro is out of control. Now he trying to rape my wife? Oh. Read on, bro.
Verse 8. Write ye also for the Jews, as it liketh you, in the king's name, and seal it with the king's ring. For the writing which is written in the king's name and sealed with the king's ring may no man reverse.
So he gave Ezra's like, go on and write what you want in that letter. Turn it around and seal it with my ring. So they know it comes straight from me. I endorse this. Yeah. Read on.
Verse 9. Then were the king's scribes called at that time in the 3rd month, that is, the month Sivan, on the 23rd day thereof. And it was written according to all that Mordecai commanded unto the Jews, and to the lieutenants, and to the deputies and rulers of the provinces which are from India unto Ethiopia, 127 provinces, unto every province according to the writing thereof, and unto every people after their language, and to the Jews according to their writing, and according to their language.
Now, how do people say this book is a mythical book, or it's a book of make-believe? Don't Ethiopia and India exist?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Aren't those still countries to this day? So you saying a make-believe book is mentioning actual places and real people? Because we could look up King Ahasuerus and see that he actually reigned. We can look up Cyrus. We can look up all the kings of the earth that are mentioned in this book and see their reigning on earth in actuality.
It's history.
It's history. So how do you say this is a book of make-believe when all these people existed?
Right.
These places and provinces and countries still exist. But all the people are fake.
Right.
It don't make sense, y'all.
It is a good story. Yeah.
It don't make sense, y'all. These things are recorded.
That's right.
Read on.
Verse 10. And he wrote in the king Ahasuerus' name, and sealed it with the king's ring, and sent letters by post on horseback, and riders on mules, camels, and young dromedaries.
Camels. Yeah.
Huh?
Yes,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Camels?
Mules, camels, and young dromedaries.
Young drummer.
Wherein the king granted the Jews which were in every city to gather themselves together, and to stand for their life, to destroy, to slay, and to cause to perish all the power of the people and province that would assault them, both little ones and women, and to take the spoil of them for a prey.
So he said he gave them what's that law? Stand your ground law.
Right.
And they start
This was the
slaying
stand.
folks.
This the stand your ground law. Say if they run up on y'all, y'all got the
Y'all
right to
got the
defend
right to
yourself.
defend yourself. And they wasn't even taking the spoil.
Right.
They was giving the spoil to the poor.
Yeah. Read on.
Verse 12. Upon one day in all the provinces of King Ahasuerus, namely, upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month Adar, the copy of the writing for a commandment to be given in every province was published unto all people, and that the Jews should be ready against that day to avenge themselves on their enemies.
So there are some out there that say, okay, this would happen on Friday the 13th because they see the 13th day,
It don't say Friday.
but it don't say Friday. But that is going forth out there. So be very careful when you hear this rumor.
Right.
And even if it was Friday the 13th,
It's a superstition.
what? It's stupid stition.
Right.
But even if it was Friday the 13th and something was decreed bad by the hands of Elohim, it was turned to good.
That's right.
So what's wrong about that?
So don't get caught up in the superstitions of Friday the 13th. Oh, evil happens on that day. If you're walking in the spirit, that ain't for you.
That's right.
That don't concern you. The full moon and werewolves and all that foolishness don't even bother you. It ain't for you. That don't concern you. So don't let this 13th day be a stumbling block for you, because they will try. Because there are men and women of the circumcision that are trying to bring doubt upon the masses about this word of Yah.
Because they full of doubt themselves.
So be very careful, because you may hear it. Oh, that was Friday the 13th. See, the decree went out that, he was going to kill all the Jews. Well, what about what the Most High did? In retrospect of that, he turned all that around. So the enemies became the ones hung. So if it was Friday the 13th, the Most High turned it into good. But that's if we're in the spirit of Elohim. Read on. Yes, ma'am.
So one of the things that we know, because Adar is it March and April?
Yes.
Adar is March and April. Shouldn't we look at it to the point about this is the time that the Father delivered his people?
We always need to look at the good of the event, not the day, but the event itself. What happened? See, it has nothing to do with the day. It has everything to do with the event. The cause and effect of what happened. Let's not get caught up on the, he says some view one day as special against another, and some view all days alike. But give all praise, glory, and honor unto Elohim, who provides all days.
That's right.
Read on, bro.
Verse 14. So the post that rode upon mules and camels went out, being hastened and pressed on by the king's commandment. And the decree was given at Shushan the palace. And Mordecai went out from the presence of the king in royal apparel of blue and white, and with a great crown of gold, and with a garment of fine linen and purple. And the city of Shushan rejoiced and was glad.
So now we see the vision of salvation under persecution. From persecution. Because remember, Mordecai was viewed as an old peasant by Haman, old filthy peasant, rebellious peasant.
And he wouldn't even put on royal clothes. When she sent him some, he
Right.
wouldn't even
He
put
wouldn't
them
even
on.
wear 'em.
Yeah, he was in sackcloth and ashes. He was like, get dressed. And he was like, nah. I'm good.
But we see how he was humble in a lowly state, and the Most High elevated him to a higher state. Why? Because of faith and belief in Hamashiach, that he would deliver Israel from their atrocities. That's all written. If we believe, then the Most High will deliver.
That's right.
Sirach chapter 2 says, see in the books of old, has there been any that sought out Elohim and been forsaken? Long as we keep him first in our hearts and minds, walking in the spirit, then we shall be delivered from all. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. Psalms 91. We will see multitudes die on the right hand and the left hand, but it shall not come nigh unto thee.
Glory to the King.
We have to have that belief, that unwavering belief and faith. Read on, bro.
Verse 16. The Jews had light and gladness and joy and honor, and in every province and in every city, whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came, the Jews had joy and gladness, a feast and a good day. And many of the people of the land became Jews, for the fear of the Jews fell upon them.
Come on.
So many of them be converted because of the light that was shining forth, and because of King Ahasuerus'
Right.
decree, because he became a believer.
So heathens became
If you,
Jews?
yes,
what I bought.
so yeah, heathens became Jews. So we have Romans 11 happening here. We have Romans 11 happening here. We have wild branches being grafted in.
Exactly.
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, you just read that addition to Esther 10, a lot for the
Yeah,
God
yeah,
before God and a lot for the Gentiles.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's what Purim is about, the festival of lots.
Yes.
Proselytes. You have people of all other nations, man, that want to get down with our God. Are we supposed to turn them away when we got Hebrews that won't even adhere to the law, statutes, judgments, and commandments of
The
the Most
scripture say,
High?
is he the God of the Jews only?
Right.
God forbid.
Didn't he create
He
everything?
created everything and
Created them.
everybody.
Come on, man.
That's why he said, abhor not an Edomite, and Edomite, for he is your brother. Or an
Or
Egyptian.
an Egyptian. That's right. Huh?
Is that what he said? To the
Yeah.
Jews first, then the Gentiles?
Then to
Then
the
to the Gentile. So if they're believers there, he said there should be one God and one law to the stranger,
Yeah,
to the Jew, and also to the stranger, joined unto them.
That's right.
That's law. Read on, chapter 9.
We're going into chapter 9, family.
Read.
Now in the 12th month, that is the month of Adar, on the 13th day of the same, when the king's commandment and his decree drew near to be put in execution, in the day that the enemies of the Jews hoped to have power over them, though it was turned to the contrary, that the Jews had rule over them that hated them. The Jews gathered themselves together in their cities throughout all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus, to lay hand on such as sought their hurt, and no man could withstand them. For the fear of them fell upon all people. And all the rulers of the provinces, and the lieutenants, and the deputies, and officers of the king helped the Jews, because the fear of Mordecai fell upon them. For Mordecai was great in the king's house, and his fame went out throughout all the provinces. For this man Mordecai waxed greater and greater. Thus the Jews smote all their enemies with the stroke of the sword, and slaughter, and destruction, and did what they would unto those that hated them. And in Shushan the palace, the Jews slew and destroyed 500 men. And Parshandatha, and Dalphon, and Aspatha, and Poratha, and Adalia, and Aridatha, and Parmashta, and Arizai, and Aridai, and Vajezatha, the 10 sons.
Cold with it, ain't he? Cold with it.
Come on, man, read that book, man.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
The 10 sons of Haman, the sons of Amadatha, the enemy of the Jews, slew they. But on the spoil laid they not their hand. On that day, the number of those that were slain in Shushan the palace was brought before the king.
They didn't have no care for that material wealth.
No.
They can care less about that. Why? Because Elohim had provided everything they needed. And they were living in peace at this time. In so much that everybody feared him. Because they saw the works of Elohim turn that decree completely around. And fall upon the heads of the enemies.
That's right.
Read on, bro.
They wasn't in it for the money.
No, they could care less about the money. They was in it for salvation purposes.
Yeah, because they said they didn't lay their hand on the
They didn't want the
Didn't lay their
substance.
hand- No, we don't want
They like,
none
man,
of
we don't
that.
want none of that. That's filthiness.
Give that to the needy.
Yeah, we don't need that. Give it to those that have not, so that they'll have. And this is what we'll see in the book of Acts about them giving things and everybody having things in common.
There you go.
It was the charity of the people, so that all of us had substance. Everybody had something in common, that no one was over the brethren. Oh, I got more than you. You ain't got nothing. What's wrong, nigga? You ain't hustle? You ain't got no hustle in you?
Get your weight up, man.
Get your weight up. Get your paper up before you hang out with me.
I'm gonna wait on you to go to sleep and take yours.
Yeah, and that's what happened. So to keep all that from happening, everybody gave. Because everybody was walking in the spirit. Everybody was seeking salvation. So everybody was like, man, I got 5 houses. Who need a house? Bro, you need a house? Sister, y'all need a house? I'm gonna give y'all this one. I got one to stay in for me and my family. Now y'all got a house. You got 5 TVs? I'm gonna give a couple of them away. Now everybody's got a TV. So everybody had something in common. And it wasn't that, system. Oh man, everybody got to go over to so-and-so house to watch the game because ain't nobody else got a TV. No, everybody got their own. So it ain't like, I'm more than you, you more than me, or you less than me. And he said, look after each other's wealth. And it's not looking, how much you got in your pocket, homie. No, it ain't that. It's about, man, do you have what you need to sustain? Right.
I had a homie get mad at me once because I didn't put in on the barbecue. I had bills to pay. He got mad at me because I ain't put in on the barbecue. Y'all just came up with this.
Right.
And I'm supposed to give my gas money for the week to you?
No.
But see, where's the love in that?
There wasn't no love. We didn't hang no more after that.
That was obvious. Because you can't eat.
Right.
See, ain't no hospitality there.
After that.
There was no hospitality there.
Right.
Your brother is lacking. He can't eat.
I thought he was gonna fight.
Really?
Wow.
I mean, it got that serious because I wasn't gonna give up my last for this barbecue that you just conjured up in your mind.
Man, why you counting my pockets anyway?
Right.
And if you came up with that idea, it should be on you to supply that.
Exactly.
That was your idea.
You count the cost when you made that idea?
Right.
He ain't had a cost.
That's
why he was mad at me.
Yeah,
because I wasn't
because he wanted y'all to provide.
You only be kicking
So
in.
he
He
can
kicking in
well,
now.
I got the house. Y'all gonna get the
Got it.
food in them.
What you got on my 40,
I
homie?
got my own house I could go eat in.
right.
Yeah.
And we done seen that happen where a cat started shooting at another cat because he mad at dude because he feeding his wife and children. Oh, that's another story. Let's go on. Read on, y'all.
Yeah, between you and Zeb, y'all in them stories, dog. Boy, y'all is something else.
Well, you talking?
Yeah, you got a
I
many.
Hold on,
recorded-
when you
I
talking about me now?
I recorded him reading them names just like he did just now, y'all.
Come on.
He in it too.
What a
Nah,
fan
we put a
for,
story
you know?
on that.
I tell you, family, something else, ain't we?
Boy. Verse 12, how about that?
Read it like you read it on the record.
Boy, I tell you, man, what you gonna do? Verse 12. And the king said unto Esther the queen, the Jews have slain and destroyed 500 men in Shushan the palace, and the 10 sons of Haman. What have they done in the rest of the king's provinces? Now, what is thy petition? And it shall be granted thee. Or what is thy request further? And it shall be done. Then said Esther, if it please the king, let it be granted to the Jews which are in Shushan to do tomorrow also according unto this day's decree. And let Haman's 10 sons be hanged upon the gallows. And the king commanded it so to be done. And the decree was given at Shushan. And they hanged Haman's 10 sons.
And why? Because one of them might grow up to want revenge.
Exactly.
Come on.
To cut it off. Cut it all off. Because they're going to create mischief in Israel. They're going to devise a plan and they're going to gather troops. So, to cut all that off, get them too. Cut off all his substance.
Like they should have been cut off in the beginning, because
Yeah,
when he part of the
yes,
seed
yeah,
that Amalek seed that
Yes.
left been destroyed.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly. Exactly. Read on.
Verse 15. For the Jews that were in Shushan gathered themselves together on the 14th day also of the month Adar, and slew 300 men at Shushan. But on the prey they laid not their hand. But the other Jews that were in the king's provinces gathered themselves together, and stood for their lives, and had rest from their enemies, and slew of their foes 75,000. But they laid not their hands on the prey.
See, they didn't want their substance.
Right.
We don't want your money, we want your life.
Right.
Read on.
Verse 17. On the 13th day of the month Adar, and on the 14th day of the same rested they, and made it a day of feasting and gladness.
They were sea walking and everything.
Christ walking.
That's right.
That's right. Christ walking, sea walking.
Yep.
Same thing.
Verse
Big
18.
sea, big sea walking.
Right. Verse 18.
Man, you gonna have Bloods commenting on our thing.
You need Jesus.
Christ walking, bruh.
Blood of Christ.
Y'all need to get in it. Y'all bloods, y'all got the blood of Christ on you, so get to Christ walking.
Blood of the King, baby. Verse 18. But the Jews that were at Shushan assembled together on the 13th day thereof, and on the 14th day thereof, and on the 15th day of the same they rested, and made it a day of feasting and gladness. Therefore, the Jews of the villages that dwelt in the unwalled towns made the 14th day of the month Adar a day of gladness and feasting, and a good day, and of sending portions one to another.
You see that? Sending portions one to another.
Right.
Charity, gifts, and alms. Spreading it abroad to the brethren. Read on.
Verse 20. And Mordecai wrote these things, and sent letters unto all the Jews that were in all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus, both nigh and far, to establish this among them, that they should keep the 14th day of the month Adar, and the 15th day of the same yearly, as the days wherein the Jews rested from their enemies, and the month which was turned unto them from sorrow to joy, and from mourning into a good day, that they should make them days of feasting and joy, and of sending portions one to another, and gifts to the poor.
See that?
Verse 23. And the Jews undertook to do as they had begun, and as Mordecai had written unto them, because Haman, the son of Hammedatha the Agagite, the enemy of all the Jews, had devised against the Jews to destroy them, and had cast pure, that is, the lot, to consume them, and to destroy them. But when Esther came before the king, he commanded by letters that his wicked device, which he devised against the Jews, should return upon his own head, and that he and his sons should be hanged on the gallows. Wherefore they called these days Purim, after the name of Pur. Therefore, for all the words of this letter, and of that which they had seen concerning this matter, and which had come unto them, the Jews ordained, and took upon them, and upon their seed, and upon all such as joined themselves unto them, so as it should not fail, that they would keep these 2 days according to the writing, and according to their appointed time every year, and that these days should be remembered and kept throughout every generation.
You hear this?
Yes.
So,
Every generation,
read it.
every family, every province, and every city, and that these days of Purim should not fail from among the Jews, nor the memorial of them perish from their seed.
You see this?
Come on.
This is why. It's a memorial. Anytime that there was great divine intervention into a circumstance, it's set as a memorial that we should rejoice in, because Elohim intervened and delivered us, just like Passover.
Exactly.
Just like Passover.
And this is a feast day to do good to others.
To do
What's
good.
wrong with that?
Right.
What is wrong with that?
Giving your brethren their flowers while they can smell them. What's the problem with that? That's showing love and extending. That's just what Christ wanted us to do. That's what he did.
That's right.
He came to call the sinners unto repentance. What great light that we show unto our brethren by extending this love that we have been blessed with to others. Others of the fold. Just brethren, and be showing them that light. But like we said, you can't give them something that's going to cause them to go into the darkness. We have to give them spiritual food first and their necessities that will carry them to the next phase. But without understanding of Elohim, Christ, Hamashiach, what are they going to do after the next day? The underwear get a tear in them. Deodorant runs out.
Can't scrape it.
Elohim is forever,
That's right.
and he changed not. That's what we have to provide. Necessities, and Elohim first, and necessities.
That's right.
Read on.
Verse 29. Then Esther the queen, the daughter of Abihail, and Mordecai the Jew, wrote with all authority to confirm this second letter of Purim. And he sent the letters unto all the Jews, to the 127 provinces of the kingdom of Ahasuerus, with words of peace and truth, to confirm these days of Purim in their times appointed, according as Mordecai the Jew and Esther the queen had enjoined them. and as they had decreed for themselves and for their seed, the matters of the fastings and their cry. And the decree of Esther confirmed these matters of Purim, and it was written in the book.
In the book.
The book. Yes, sir.
Let's get this 1 Corinthians chapter 13, y'all.
It can be.
We'll start at 1. We'll read that whole chapter on off. Unless we got something else. Anybody got anything else after this? Then we'll be
Da-da-da-da-da.
That's before your time, bro. I remember that music.
I ain't gonna lie, it's my ears though.
It's your ears.
You say 1 Corinthians is down.
1 Corinthians 13 and 1. We'll read that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 1. We all there? Let's get it.
I think after this we're gonna have to hit that
See?
Sirach 41 real quick, just the beggar part, so people have that understanding. We still be
be
on good time. We still on good time.
Oh, that's what it was.
Watch your mouth, man. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
That's making sense. Okay.
Since we got time.
You gonna use every try. All of it, huh? Every dime.
Why not?
Okay.
It's only once a week we get together and fellowship like this.
You right.
So I know we want all the time we can get. I love being with y'all.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely. Just don't be claiming Ezra. That's all I'm saying. Don't be you.
Hey, I'm still in Ezra's time. Hey, I'm still in Ezra's time.
We'll see how long that lasts. You already named one.
See, you still talking.
I know it. Don't blame it on me. Blame it on me. Daniel do it all the time.
Y'all see the love we have?
Yes, sir.
It's a beautiful thing. 1 Corinthians 13.
Starting at verse 1.
Ain't you supposed to be walking somebody down the aisle?
Hey, you still ain't left. Why they gonna be like, Nerf's still in class?
We gotta hurry up for Nerf's sake.
He's still in class.
We got to get Nerf out of
All
here.
right, yeah. All right, family. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 1. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, and have not charity, I am become as sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal.
So I'm just puffed up. Because then it's all about me. It's self-glory. If I ain't extending love to the brethren, then it's all about me. That's selfishness.
Right.
And it's no good because Christ wasn't about himself.
Right.
He represented he that sent him, and he came for the people. Read.
And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains and have not charity, I am nothing.
Abraham had all these things. But what did he do when he saw them angels come? Showed them hospitality. What did Lot do? The same thing.
Yeah.
Hospitality. Hospitality, that's what the order of Melchizedek about, is showing love to the brethren, extending hospitality and charity to all the brethren. What did Shem do when meeting Abraham? He brought him bread and wine. Hospitality. Love for the brethren. Read on.
And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, and have not charity, it profited me nothing. Charity suffereth long, and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up.
You see how the scripture, we don't have to speak for the scriptures. It explains itself. All we have to do is keep reading.
Here you go, dog. I'm helping out today.
Yeah.
Give it to the poor.
Yeah. Hey, y'all get this on film. Film it, y'all. Y'all got to get it on film. Showing my charity.
This gonna go viral.
And then you have people like, oh, that's beautiful, bro. Keep doing what you're doing and woo, woo, woo. That's what they did it for. It's for likes. It didn't come from the heart. They did it so they could change the perspective of the masses about who they are. Because they was a drug dealer, gangbanger, killer, whatever the hell they were. And now they trying to do a good deed, like handing out turkeys on Thanksgiving. But the rest of the days of the year, you killing your people.
Right.
Nigga, please. Stop it. It's just like Christ said, go in your closet and pray unto him. Don't be trying to be seen of men.
That's right.
That's self-glory.
You have your reward.
Glory not in thyself. Verily you have your reward. Read on, brother.
Verse 5. Do not behave itself unseemly. Seek it not her own. Is not easily provoked. Think it no evil. Rejoice it not in iniquity, but rejoice it in truth, in the truth. Bear it all things. Believe it all things.
In Christ.
Hope it all things. Endure it all things. Charity never faileth. But whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part shall be done away. When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then shall I know even as also I am known. And now abideth faith, hope, charity, these three, but the greatest of these is charity.
Because in that charity is love unfeigned towards the brethren. It's just like Romans 12 or Romans 13, love working no ill towards thy brethren.
Yes, sir.
Okay? All right.
What was that other script you called that?
That's Sirach 41, just so we can see what the life of the beggar is. 40. Is it 40? Yeah, 40 and 28 through 30. Start at 24. Sirach chapter 40, verse 24 to 30. And we'll close out, y'all. Any questions? Comments?
Say start word.
Verse 24.
Brethren, and help, or against time of trouble. But alms shall deliver more than them both.
You see that? That charity, that love is greater than all that because it's unfeigned and there's no bitterness, no envying, no grudge, none of those evil things or fleshly attributes are a part of that. Alms, man, is great because it shows how much you love someone other than yourself.
That's right.
Read on.
Gold and silver make the foot stand sure.
Like money is a defense. Read on.
But counsel is esteemed above them both.
Because this counsel can bring salvation.
That's right.
Gold can't bring salvation. Money don't bring salvation. But this counsel, the counseling of Elohim, these scriptures, can provide salvation.
That's what you read in that Ecclesiastes 7 and 12. It says money is a defense, but it says wisdom giveth life to them who have it.
That's right. That's right. Here it is. Basic instructions before leaving earth.
That's right.
Read on.
Riches and strength lift up the heart, but the fear of the Most High is above them both.
That's right.
There is no want in the fear of the Most High, and it needed not to seek help.
You see that? Because you're complete in Elohim. You don't need to look nowhere else. He will provide everything you need. When you're lacking, he steps in and provides. When he said, I'm leaving, but I'm going to send back the Comforter who will instruct you in truth and righteousness. Read on.
Verse 27.
Yes, sir.
The fear of the Most High is a fruitful garden.
Yes, it is.
And covered him above all glory. My son, lead not a beggar's life.
What?
Lead not a beggar's life. For better is it to die than to beg.
You see that?
Boy, that's serious, that, bro.
That's serious business. Read on.
The life of him that depended on another man's table is not to be counted for a life.
You see that?
I just say that's nice.
You sit and depend. That's what we were saying to you, sister.
Brother.
If you gave them monies and everything, and you as well, brethren, you giving them money or worldly things, I mean, earthly things, money, then it's not helping them. They become dependent upon you. That's not going to help them. So whenever they run out of that money, that substance, they're going to be seeking you again. And that's all they want from you. And when you ain't got it, they don't care about you.
There you go.
So now the love is based off your finances.
Exactly.
Only. Because when you can't provide, they don't want to be dealing with you.
Man, you ain't got
You ain't no good to them no more. Now you become an enemy.
Right.
My own friend hath lifted up the heel against me,
Right.
who did eat of my bread
Right.
at my table.
Woo, stop it.
That's what you're going to get.
Loud as
So
nothing.
give them their necessities. Provide necessities, but give them this first.
Right. This is
Because if they refuse this, you know where we stand now.
Exactly.
You don't want life.
Exactly.
You just want to depend on somebody.
Right.
You want a free ride. I ain't gonna be your free ride. That's how you would determine if they worthy or not. If they want, try the spirit. It says try the spirit of every man.
That's like that old adage that says, you feed a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. But you teach him a fish, he'll eat
He
for
forever.
life.
Forever.
You
You know, as long as he
that's
alive.
all. All we supposed to be doing is standing in the gap for one another.
That's it.
You understand? And then if we know better, we teach others the better way that we know. But this is the only way for an individual to sustain themselves. Study to show thyself approved. You understand? You got to know what's in here
Rightly
so you
divide.
know what the Most High requires of us.
You got to know the instructions.
And He got us from there. But we got to put in some leg work.
Yeah,
Your boy can't be like, bruh, it's Thursday, didn't we get paid? Nigga, what?
Yeah, we ain't get paid. I got paid.
Right.
You get sniped.
Right. He ain't got nothing for me.
Yeah.
You polluted because you depending on my meat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's what you'll get. Read on, brother. Finish that on out.
Verse 29 again. The life of him that dependeth on another man's table is not to be counted for a life. For he polluted himself with another man's meat. But a wise man, well nurtured, will behave thereof.
Beware.
Beware of thereof.
Right.
Verse 30. Begging is sweet in the mouth of the shameless.
Right.
They ain't got no shame. You'll see them at the gas station everywhere, posted up with no shame.
Right.
It's so much they have put their children up to do it. Have their children all packed up, begging.
Trying to put on a sad face.
Yeah, putting on the, and you be like, I saw you here the same time last week. You ain't made nothing better.
I saw a dude at the store one night. I gave him $5. He gave me a sad story. I gave him $5. Seen him at another store the next day. He had a different sad story. And I said, you don't remember I gave you the $5 yesterday?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, that's right, yeah. Then I seen him at a third store later that day. He said, oh, bro, we be at the same place.
Now he waiting on you. I know you got $5.
What's your name again, brother?
I know you.
I had the same situation. The brother came to me and he had this debit card and he was asking me, can I give him $5 because he can't use his debit card right now. And the debit card you can use at any ATM machine if you need some money.
But you ain't got nothing on it. You ain't using it.
It's
just a card.
I mean, not just once, not just twice, but he hit me like 3 or 4 times trying to get me to give him $5 because he got this debit card and he can't get no money off of it right now. And I said, well, why not? The debit machine's right there, man. All you have to do is go there. He can't give me no answer.
Because he ain't got no money. He found that card somewhere. Yeah, or took it and already depleted everything off of it. Finish that out, brother.
Come on.
Hit that 30 again.
Begging is sweet in the mouth of the shameless, but in his belly there shall burn a fire.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all, that's it.
Yes, sir.
Anybody got anything? Any questions? All right, y'all.
That's what's up.
So that is Purim. So, like I said, tomorrow, sundown, we'll be here putting together those Monday. I'm thinking today, Sunday. Monday evening, we'll be here if you want to come and help the brethren put together these care packages for the homeless. Then so be it. Be here, and we'll get it done, y'all. And if you're not part of this assembly, even if you don't partake in what we do here, you can still do your own way of Purim and extending some love. Take someone out to dinner. Extend some love or kindness to our brethren and show them the light. Express to them about salvation, Christ. Give them some life and hope that they may be able to carry on throughout the course of their days and weeks and months and whatever.
Right. I ran into a brother and sister back to the house the day before yesterday, and I looked over at them and they were wearing fringes, him and her, and I'm like, oh, Hebrews. Never seen them before, my wife. So I walked up on them and I asked them, I said, hey brother, what's going on? I said, what family you with? He said, oh, well, we're not with a family. I said, well, how long y'all been in the truth? Oh, we've been in the truth about 7 years. So y'all don't have a family? So So if it's all right with everybody, I invited them to our family.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Just, but,
I gave them Warriors 98 YouTube so they can look at that. They're interested in coming to a class. And I told them absolutely.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But also, when we invite people to our house, let them know how we get down.
Right.
Before you just invite everybody to a house, because you might be inviting a non-messianic into a messianic household.
Yes.
And
He
we
gonna
don't,
be mad.
we
That's
do
why I
not,
wanted them to look at the YouTube.
He gonna be
first.
yeah, but you have to also express to them that we are messianic
Right.
Hebrews. We believe in Messiah.
And we hold.
We
what
believe in
hold.
everything from Genesis to Revelation and everything in between.
And we are under the order of Melchizedek.
Yes.
That's right. So they need to know these things first and foremost before they come into our house. It's just like you inviting somebody to your own house. They need to know the rules of your household before they come to your house, or they'll come in and disrespect your household. Now you have to recorrect them, and if there's no correction, they're going to continue to defile your house, and then there's going to be a problem and conflict.
Laying on the
So
hands.
to avoid all that, just let them know up front how we get down.
And I'm gonna give you.
You know,
I'm
and
gonna
give them the opportunity, not to cut you off, to give them the opportunity to say, yeah, I want to come, or nay, I don't want to be a part.
Right.
But they can't come in this house and do what they want to do.
Exactly.
You want to disrupt what we got going?
Because we had a brother come from out of town to our feast, and he had his covering on while we were praying. And we talked to the brother, you have to, he like, well, he wanted to debate about the issue.
Right.
I tell you what,
You don't
homeboy,
know
we ain't
about
finna debate this. Now, we're gonna tell you how we get down. And you got a problem with that? Next time you stay outside of our camp when we pray and things of that nature, but you're not gonna disrespect our household. I don't give a damn how you feel, homeboy.
Right. But now
You're not gonna disrespect this household.
I'm gonna give you a prime example of that, man. A guy moved on my street, and he asked me if I could put some chicken wire on. He had squirrels getting in his attic, so I went up there and I put some chicken wire on the ends of on the vents on his house. And I looked inside, and he had a lion's head, a picture, and we started rapping, and he was a Hebrew. I just met him; he just moved in. So I told him, you know, I'm Hebrew too. We do a little street teaching over on the east side, and we invited him over. He did. We didn't talk very much about doctrine, but I saw he was
came out, though.
He came out, brought his two sons. We was over on 25th and State on the street. And come to find out, he's one of those, which one was he, IUIC? Hog belly, your hog belly boy? ISUPK. We on the street now.
Alphabets.
And we like, yeah, man, we praise the Most High, and it's the three that bear record in heaven. And he was like, and we was asking him, and he was like, yeah, well, General Yohana. And we was like, nigga, what? It was like the record. And then it almost came to blows right there on the street in front of his two sons. So you gotta kind of establish who you dealing with.
Right.
Because we was like, nigga, that fat chicken wing eating, you know. But we shouldn't go to war with each other, you know, in
Especially
front of,
before non-believers.
Yeah, because that's
Because
the
now
whole
you
thing.
create a stumbling block
Exactly.
for those that don't know.
Because if you walk up on somebody arguing on the street, it's two cats arguing. Can you tell which one of them crazy?
right.
No.
They both crazy.
They both
You
crazy.
know,
Till further notice.
Yeah. You need more evidence on the matter.
Yeah, so get it established off the flip.
Yeah,
man.
so anytime you invite someone to the house, let them know how we get down, what we're about, what we believe, and let them determine whether or not they want to be a part of this or not. You know, but we don't want them coming in haphazardly and then finding out in the midst thereof that no, this ain't for me. You know, and then it's disruption or confusion and conflict.
Right.
We've had people leave us because we say yeah.
Right.
And that's why I told them, you know, take a look at our YouTube. A couple
Right,
times,
right.
You know,
Give
get
the
an
page.
understanding of what we do and how we do things.
Yeah.
And if you like it, I gave you my number, contact me, and I will bring you to our class.
But a lot of times, what I'm saying is, you know, even though you direct them to a page, some people won't even look at the page.
Yeah.
They won't even go to YouTube and watch the classes. So that's why I say when you beat them, you have to verbally tell them up front.
Right.
And give them that opportunity. Because just knowing we Hebrew and all that, then we get, it's so many different doctrines by Israelites out there.
Right.
You know, and it's foolishness. It's a whole bunch of foolishness and confusion.
You got brothers leaning toward their own understanding, teaching their doctrine.
Yeah.
I didn't tell him anything about
That's okay, brother, because, you know, if he comes, we'll let him know. And if they show up or if they call you, you know, then you extend that information to them. You know what I'm saying? So it's no problem, you know. No problem. We can handle it when they get here. It don't matter, you know.
Fellowship
In a season, out of season here, partner.
Instant.
They're either gonna hear it from here or they're gonna hear it from us.
Oh, they gonna hear it. You come to
If they
this
hear it,
house.
they're gonna get the truth.
Get you.
Anybody else? Anything?
All right.
Hey, let's lift up prayers for my brother Lazarus and his family. You know what I'm saying?
All praises, last.
Yeah, lost his niece. Yeah.
All praise, man. I'm sorry to hear that, brother. Many prayers going up on y'all behalf, brother. You and the fam, man.
That's right. Y'all
Definitely,
are
and
fam.
y'all are our family.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's all that's automatic, brother. So don't worry about that. And anyone else in our worldwide assembly, if you need our support and our prayers and everything, reach out to us. Let us know what's happening, so we can lift you up in prayer. That our whole household, this whole assembly, is in peace and in love, y'all.
And
With that, we're
You
gonna
ain't
close.
coming in shalom, stay at home.
That's it.
We all about peace and love, y'all. But trust me, don't get it twisted. We will get busy.
Or don't
We
let
have
the
to.
Bible fool you.
From the streets.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
We have hands-on technique.
We'll lay hands on you.
And it won't be in the Presbyterian way.
We ain't looking for no trouble. We ain't running either. All right, family. We're going to get this closing prayer. And it is with the Most High's permission. And it's in the name of His only begotten and beloved Son, our Lord and Savior and our Redeemer. He's also our uncrowned King.
Yes, sir.
Yahushua HaMashiach.
Yes, sir.
But we know him as Jesus the Christ, y'all. Long live the King. Long live the King. Reading in the book of Psalms.
Come on.
In the 82nd chapter, it reads, Yah standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judgeth among the gods. How long will ye judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? Selah.
Selah.
Defend the poor and fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men, and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O Yah, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. Hallelujah! Selah!
Got
All
a
right,
shot or
son.
two.
We gladly
Greatly appreciate it.
Okay,
Much
y'all.
love.
Great class, man.